and it looks like everyone's ready to go.
Yeah, certainly looks like it. Here we go. We're going to have Cloud9 on blue, Evil Geniuses on orange, regular rosters. And here we go. Best of 7 to decide who moves on to the grand final. It's going to be a hell of a match. Starting things off. Push forward by Evil Geniuses. Not really high-octane action in the first 30 seconds of the match. Mostly midfield focus. See Tormund going for the ball here. Oh, almost a shot. Squishy gets the follow-up, though. And that's going to be first blood for Cloud9.
This is a huge bump here. Drippay challenging this. Torment got there first. A great pass over to Gimmick, and I don't know why his name starred out, but Gimmick actually had to jump to make sure that he didn't touch the ball that Squishy shot. Well, just well done by Gimmick to stay out of the way of the play, and already a score. Might have a kickoff goal. Drippay gets it in.
Yeah, they get their goal straight back, and we are off to a hotly contested start after a bit of midfield quarrels in the first 30 seconds. 2 goals going in quick succession, and Evil Genius is not content with falling behind early, getting their goal back straight off of the kickoff. So, now the match can begin proper. Classics to push that one forward. Gimmick with a good patient block. Carries the ball to the side wall, looking to get some extra distance on it, but the pass on to Squishy, intercepted by Drippay. Torment playing that one into the right-hand corner. Classics getting blown up here by Squishy, who centers the ball. No one there to pick it up, though, and Corrupted G will be getting a wide clearance. Stopped at the midfield by Squishy. Good setup from Torment for Gimmick. Puts that one into the corner, trying to set something up for Torment here. He has an open net, but Drippay coming in from the side and saving that shot. Well defended right there. Counterattack will not come through, as Cloud9 have managed to slow the game down.
Uh-oh. You mentioned the counterattack not coming through, but Cloud9 slowed the game down a little bit too far. EG deciding to launch on that, and it's a great idea. Just make sure the ball stays on that side and trying to get into a scoring position. Both teams trying to challenge everything as Gimmick off of the backboard. A fantastic read.
Yeah, fantastic read indeed, but all 3 defenders from Evil Geniuses pretty much bunched up on one side of the field. That backboard rebound is all that Gimmick really needed. It was beautifully set up by Squishy to get Cloud9 back into the lead only by 1 goal, and there's still 3 minutes and 26 seconds to play. We've seen promising moves from both teams so far. Not quite sure if this is going to be another sweep. Certainly not looking like it as of this moment.
As of this moment, yeah, but the slight Aussie style that Drippay still has, blocked out by Classics, fantastic. But the slight Aussie style that Drippay has, it kind of puts him toward the ball a touch late in certain situations. Because
boy, big miss by Classics in the midfield. Should have gotten to that open net for Gimmick to score on.
I mean, that's pretty much it. It was a straight miss, and of course Gimmick's right there just in case. He's got plenty of backup. It's great positioning by Gimmick to make sure that, to kind of force the issue, force Classics to not make a mistake, and a mistake was made.
Certainly was, and a 2-goal lead opens up for Cloud9. Their defense have been tough to get through for EG. It's not for lack of trying. We've seen promising passing plays. Usually play onto Corrupted G, who keeps himself ready in the final third. Another push forward from Gimmick. Tormund getting ready in the midfield. Pass comes in and is perfectly played. Another goal to Cloud9.
So Classics was on his way back. That's the right thing to do. Corrupted G just trying to slow the ball down, but Gimmick with a fantastic pass off the ceiling transition to knock that one down. And of course, a great read by the shooter. A 3-goal lead already here for Cloud9. Evil Geniuses just can't seem to get started.
They're going to need to convert their quality offense into a goal or 2. Most importantly, they need to stop Cloud9 from riding the wave that they are right now. Good push through. The G will finish it off, and Classics doing all the work on the side of the field.
I mean, he really was. I think Classics is a little bit ticked with himself, just with the luck that he's been having. But Corrupted G, a fantastic read off of Squishy's car at that point. I don't really think Squishy expected Corrupted G to come through like that with that sort of catch move. But finally, Evil Geniuses get back on the board as Torment goes for a shot.
Oh boy, that's going to be an open net right there for Gimmick.
We had a defensive breakdown here. Drippe kind of getting a little bit aggressive, then he shoots for the mid boost, which Classics was already there. So I think Drippe, maybe he's just a little bit nervous right now. He knows how big this is and wanting to prove himself. It might be in his head a little bit. Just get the first game jitters out of the way, and I really think game 2 will be a little bit more indicative of what we'll be seeing for the rest of the series.
I have to agree with that, but there's still 2 minutes to be played, and 3 goals might be difficult, but certainly not impossible at this point in the game.
Oh, what a pass.
Pass over to Classics, plays it back to Drippe, he pops it up, trying to go for the double tap, but Corman getting in between that. Solid defense, Corrupted G, up the sidewall ramp, a little too slow, and Squishy will clear that away. EG trying to set up for the siege here. Good forward ball by Gimmick. Gonna get blocked by Corrupted G in the midfield. Squishy trying to put that one on target, immediately gets blocked. And EG forced back into their own half of the field. And this is kind of what I've been talking about. There is some quality offense coming in from Evil Geniuses, but Cloud9 is quick on the buzzer in every defensive situation. Classics looking for the pre-jump there. Can't quite convert on that, but the clear does not come out. Drippe has enough time because Swishy could not quite get the shot on target in time. EG getting away with a black eye on that one. Now they have to convert this kind of momentum into a goal.
Punches being thrown all over the place. It seems like Corrupted G takes a bit of a shot looking for Drippe, but Gimmick comes in perfectly timed. And that's it. Cloud9 shut it down. They already had a man forward. Drippe gets a massive clear on it, though.
Straight onto Classics, too, and he can convert into the top left corner. Beautiful clearance from Drippe, sets up the goal.
Yeah, Drippe, I mean, that was beautiful. Great awareness there. Classics announcing he was at the midfield boost, and Drippe sees him, just throws it that way. Wasn't quite sure exactly where it was going to go, and Classics had to adjust, but man, he got that shot off perfectly, and we're already in the final minute.
Yep, just under 50 seconds left on the clock. 2-goal deficit for Evil Geniuses. Cloud9 looking for some offense here. Squishy gets blown up by Drippe to buy themselves some space in their own half. Look at Cloud9, they are on the ball early, and they push forward vehemently right now.
Oh, what
an interception from Corrupted G. Tries to push it forward again. Classics hot on the heels of that ball. Bringing in a bit of a kerfluffle in the corner, but Cloud9 doing a good job of controlling it and running down the clock. 15 seconds now left. And EG are going to have to score it within the next few seconds if they want to have a chance at the equalizer. Classics trying to set up for a shot here, slightly late on the flip. Now looking for the dribble play, straight onto Drippe, tries to put it in front of the net, but Gimmick is ready for that move. So the clock hits 0. And the first game goes to Cloud9. No buzzer beater goal here as Classics gets his final save of the game, but the ball is going to touch the ground, and Cloud9 are going to come away the winners of game 1.
Well, I mean, Cloud9 came in and do what they do best. They just dominate early in the game, and then they didn't necessarily hang back, but they kept the pressure up. But they weren't really making a whole ton of shots, and I think Evil Geniuses started to kind of figure that out, started to figure out where the ball was going to be, and then put themselves into places where longer clears can happen, good clears can happen, and then Drippe coming in with that last clear on the goal line was fantastically played. And that's one of those surprises that the Aussie can bring to Evil Geniuses, but they have to be ready for it. Classics was this time, and we'll have to see if they're able to do that one more time throughout the series, because honestly, that was a beautiful play.
Oh, it certainly was. I think there's lots of potential here for EG in this series. They just need to find some solutions against the aggressive defensive play from Cloud9. As I've already said, they are early on the ball. They contest as soon as they possibly can, and they really throw themselves into those contests. And it's been working out very well for them. They've done a good job at predicting the play. They're going to get a kickoff goal for themselves here, 3 seconds from the starting whistle.
Corrupted G just didn't get a great touch on that. I think he wanted to lose that back to Drippe, but Torment staying with it. That's exactly what Torment needed to do, is just stick with the ball and try to make a shot towards net. And Classics and Drippe were completely out of the play at that point, not expecting that at all, and so we're back in it.
And this is the kind of situation that Cloud9 love to play from. Forces EG to take risks. And those risks can then be exploited. Gimmick trying to set something up here, intercepted early by Drippe. Pushed forward by Squishy, but Corrupted G to clear that off into the corner.
Oh, beautiful.
Versus Drippe, with a little bit of support coming in from Corrupted G. And EG forced onto their back foot for the first 30 seconds of the game here. Classics taken out of the play. Gimmick looking to convert that one into a shot straight away, trying to set something up for Torment here. Well defended by Evil Geniuses for the time being, but they have to break out of their half. They're getting boost starved right now by Cloud9. Oh, angled shot from Gimmick. Lots of time for Classics to save that one. Drippy finally breaking through the midfield line. Rebound off of the corner, but Squishy has got that one covered, and Gimmick will carry that through to the orange corner. Squishy with an angled shot here, but Classics will block that shot's path. And now looking to convert into a dribble, but Gimmick yet again diving in from the side. Solid defense all throughout from Cloud9.
That Cloud9 getting a little bit bunched up right there, and that's something that they really haven't done too much of. Once the ball slows down, they get a little closer to each other, but that's about it. And Cloud9 are on it. They haven't lost a beat at all. Evil Geniuses are the ones that have something to prove, and as of right now, they're doing pretty good, but you mentioned the boost control that Cloud9 has, and that's really biting Evil Geniuses at this time. Oh, Classics!
Oh, what a touch from Classics! Gets that off into the corner. I thought that was going to go in for sure. But they do manage to break through to the blue half yet again. Rebound comes off high off of the backboard. Squishy and Gimmick to push that one forward yet again. Into the orange corner, Drippy gets the shot taken away by Torment. Another push forward, Squishy has got that one covered. And yet again, Cloud9 are not really letting anything through into their final third. And when things do get through, they're quick on the buzzer to go straight for the counter clear. Gimmick. Spending time on the ball in the midfield, enough for Corrupted G to come in and defuse that situation for the time being. Torment looking to stay in ball control. The contest was well played by Drippe. Back pass onto Classics, place that one off into the corner. Gimmick is quick on the buzzer. Corrupted G looking to play that one off to Drippe on the side wall. He tries to set it up for Corrupted G, doesn't really get a handle on the ball though. And so Cloud9 will be pushing that forward yet again. Here comes Drippy, finally breaks through. Squishy playing it wisely, playing it high and slow, making Evil Geniuses run for it, and a quick and early contest allows Squishy to get it past the final defender for the 2-0.
And the pass right here from Gimmick, it was spot on, just in front of Squishy. The bounce played perfectly. Classics had to come out. He was too far away from the net to really do much, so he had to challenge that. And that was going to be a tough one to read. Classics couldn't quite get the read on it, and there you are, Cloud9 with only a 2-goal lead this time around, but EG, again, have not been able to get much started. Cloud9 have been able to just hold it off on the offensive end. Squishy, quick shot, a big dunk.
Squishy.
Ooh, good lord. Squishy coming through, just doing squishy things right on the hood. Now that there, Dominus. Unfortunately, just Dominus things at that point. It's one of the drawbacks, unfortunately, in those situations.
So it is another 3-goal lead, and Evil Geniuses are really starting to struggle on their offensive end. Something that I've been praising in game number 1, but so far in game 2, they really haven't been able to get anything off the ground here as far as their offense goes. Corrupted G gets a shot set up here from Classics, but the save from Squishy on the goal line. Another attempt coming in, but Drippe will be sending that off into the corner. Evil Genius is looking to press their advantage right now. Drippe looking to catch that clear from Torment on the back wall. Can't quite make it happen. Corrupted G to keep it on the blue half. Classics taking over now, but Gimmick will be looking for a clear here. Drippe kind of overcommitting on that one, landing a little too high on the side wall, and Evil Geniuses are getting pressed back into their own half. Classics not connecting with the ball in the midfield. That'll concede possession to Cloud9 at this point. And the final minute is now on the board.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy. And the defense from Evil Genius is in shambles as Squishy scores on what is essentially an open net.
Corrupted G realizing he had to back off the play, and then he was trying to read that ball off the corner. It was going to be kind of an odd bounce because it did hit that transition between the corner and the side wall. So that curve right there just kind of throws the ball into a weird angle, and Corrupted G went for it, but he had no backup at that point. Possibly a little bit of patience would have paid off it right there, but you know, they are down, they were down by 3, so it makes sense where they might want to try to rush that as quick as possible. But Gimmick to Torment.
Oh, good play, but Corrupted G will get the save here. With that little time left on the clock. I think Evil Geniuses will have to concede the second game here as well and have to think about rethinking their approach on offense. Cloud9 has been covering the backboard expertly, not really allowing any rebounds to come off. I don't think I've seen a single one actually manage to get through. Not a single good shooting situation for Evil Geniuses. Another good save from Torment, and Squishy looking to clear that away. Classic with a mid-air dunk, but that's not on target, and Torment will clear that off the goal line. Evil Geniuses struggling to break through the iron wall that Cloud9 have built in their own final third, and especially in front of the net.
You mentioned that, actually, in front of the net. The moment Cloud9 gets, on defense, they don't necessarily swarm into the crease, if you will, or into the goalie box, but they just seem to have every single angle covered. They understand the game at a level that is just absurd more than anything else. And so they know where to place themselves based off of the situational awareness that they have of Evil Geniuses. So wherever Evil Geniuses are at the time, they'll situate themselves in a great spot to defend 80% of any shot coming through. If someone's on the backboard or on the sidewall, they put someone on the backboard. If someone is coming at them direct, they have one guy challenge, another guy's set ready to defend behind him, just in case it pushes through for some reason. Even in that last defensive push, there was a moment there where Squishy kind of took back on his ones characteristics and just shadowed him, even on the goal line, just shadowed the shot. It was going to be a slow one, and all Squishy had to do was just jump. It was so simple and elegant that, Cloud9's putting on a defensive clinic at this point, if they happen to be on defense ever.
Well, they've always been known as a strong team in defense. They've been putting on defensive matches that many have called the best defense they've ever seen in Rocket League, and it shows yet again. Good early push from Torment, 10 seconds until the first solid shot on target. Corrupt G getting in between that and this occasion. Evil Geniuses are going to have to look to at least bring up competitive match 3, because if they don't, can be forced to reverse sweep it here. Squishy puts it off the post. Close call right there. Second huge opportunity for Cloud9, and we haven't even passed the first minute of game time yet. Attempted a pinch of the side wall. Classic's taking control of the ball in the midfield, but he is all out of boost. You have to defer that to Drippe. Pushes it forward. Torment covering the midfield yet again. And Torment be looking to push that one forward. Classics coming out early for the contest. Ball is in the midfield, which Cloud9 have solidly under control right now. Bounce off of the backboard, not quite at a good angle to go for a shot. Cloud9 yet again, first minute. Offensive domination.
Oh, wait a minute. Evil Genius might have a chance here.
Oh, good demolition onto Torment, but look at Squishy. He realizes the situation, puts some extra height on the ball. Buy some extra time for his teammates to come back. Torment putting that one off of the crossbar, and Classics will be running away with this one. This is an open net, and he'll be scoring that. Evil Geniuses weathering the storm and then countering for first blood.
This whole thing started on the opposite end, obviously, because Classics just with the breakaway goal. But Drippe had the wherewithal to stay on the wall, time the touch to knock it square down, right on Corrupted G's nose, which popped it out. Classics right there, full boost, slams it home. It was absolute brilliance on the part of Drippe to stay on the wall and stay with the touch instead of allowing Corrupted G to pop up for it, which would have thrown the ball in a completely different direction.
Confidence seems to have been gained by Evil Geniuses. Classics missing that pass that was set up for him by Corrupted G, but they're still on the blue half here. Drippe, a little late off of the side wall, trying to position himself. It's a passing station next to the net, trying to set it up for the midfield, but his touch really doesn't go anywhere, and Cloud9 are all over the ball right now. And that's not a good block from Classic. Sets something up for Squishy here, puts it slightly high, and now Drippe, with lots of space in the midfield, runs out of boost mid-dribble, though. And yet again, Evil Geniuses are struggling with empty tanks. Huge miss, though, right there. Classic looking to convert that one. Squishy, so patiently played. Look at the ball control on the backboard that he was able to exhibit there, and that slowed the pace of the play down considerably, taking all the options away from Evil Geniuses. Well played.
You can see EG having a little bit of trouble getting shots on target at this time. There was a couple of whiffs there. A pass over to Corrupted G. Drip A.
Oh,
shot.
that was
Torment
beautiful.
right there
The
off the
save
crossbar.
From Torment to get it up at the crossbar. Now looking for the counterattack here. Gimmick trying to set something up. Straight onto Drip A, though. And he's going to take his time in the corner, trying to slow down the pace of the game yet again. This one's going to come off the backboard. Classics has got to cover. Torment in the corner looking for the angle here. 3 players from EG bunched up in one spot, able to save that ball, but Cloud9 are not quite done yet. And Classics trying to get that over Torment. He gets another touch on it. Classics still in the fray, picks up the corner boost as well. But no midfield coverage right now, especially in the air from Evil Geniuses. Dribble will keep the play going, though. And a solid clear from Squishy. Gimmick keeping himself ready in the center. Important touch by Classic, but Squishy gets it off of the corner yet again. Torment is ready at a passing station. Pass is intercepted by Classics. Solid defense from Evil Geniuses right now. It's not for lack of trying of Cloud9 right now.
And we're starting to see demos become extremely important. Drip A from the midfield. Good lord, what a shot. We're starting to see demos, like I said.
Too, though. That shot pretty much came out of nowhere.
Welcome, EUNA casters, guys.
There's lots to say about this game.
There's a ton to say, especially in this last minute. You know, Cloud9 have not really been able to get a whole ton going. A couple of missed shots here and there, which kind of comes down to the pace. I mean, Evil Geniuses have tried to take away the pace from Cloud9, just in general. Try to get some ball control going, work their way back to the basics, and it's a great way to approach this game, but we're getting a little bit more dangerous here for Evil Genius trying to extend their lead.
35 seconds left on the clock, and Evil Geniuses, ever since their first goal, they've been showing some quality time in the blue final third. Final 30 seconds are on the clock. It's a 1-goal margin. Will that be enough is the question.
Oh, what a touch!
Great touch indeed. Torment will pick that up and put that into the corner, though, and here comes Corrupted G. Gets it off of the ceiling. Torment trying to set something up high. Missed. Backboard clear by Drip A, and that is all she wrote. Squishy will equalize the game 9 seconds from the end whistle.
So both Drippy and Classics were not on the backboard. In that situation, you would want to put someone on the backboard, I think, especially with Cloud9. They like to do those types of shots, get them off the backboard, get some passes going using the walls. So you would think that they would put someone on the backboard, and it must have just slipped their mind. The Classics was already sitting there, and they're so focused on defending their net, trying to win this game. But because of that, they're going to see overtime. It's the first one of the series.
Certainly is, and it's such an important one for EG. If they drop this one, they're going to have to reverse sweep Cloud9 to have any chance of coming into the grand final tonight. So it is a tense situation for EG already. They want that safety net below them. Drippy pass on to Classics, puts it into the corner. Corrupted G waiting in midfield. Torment early on the contest. Corrupted G now joining the fray as well. Looking for the angled shot here. Is going to get saved by Gimmick. Off into the corner, trying to slow down the play. Gets it past the midfielder. The Classics will come out for an early contest to keep the ball alive in the orange half. Back pass onto Drippy. Well played. Corrupted G sets it up right here. Drippy puts it high, though. Trying to catch the Cloud9 defenders out of position here.
That's
Torment.
the crazy part. Cloud9 was out of position. They had all 3 players in that corner, but Evil Genius is trying to play this safe. They couldn't do anything with it.
Oh! And Gimmick so close to scoring that one. Ball came off a little further off the backboard than he had expected there. If he hadn't been in a better position, that would have been a goal. Good setup for Torment, but Corrupted G pretty much doesn't even have to move to clear that ball off of his goal line.
There was a bit of a stalemate there in the corner. That was kind of weird. They just kind of stopped. Like, what do we do? This is weird. Oh, shot.
It's it off the backboard, but a solid clear coming through. Pace of the game has slowed down considerably in overtime. Oh, what a shot at an angle, but Squishy will be there for the save off into the right-hand side corner, and he's going to carry this on through to the orange half as well. Good interception from Gimmick, gets it off the backboard. Corrupted G preventing anyone from taking position there. Torment with a slow ball. Squishy jumping in there, but Classics Able to play the wall there, stopping the ball from coming through. This is a good ball for Squishy. He puts the tide, trying to go for the double tap here. And he gets it as well. It's a triple tap, ultimately, from Squishy. Makes the defenders jump out for it, and then puts it long.
Okay, Drippy goes up onto the top of the goal. Squishy on the follow-through. Drippy thought he might be able to clear that one away, but Drippy actually twisted away from the ball. And that opened the door there for Squishy, who was just right there. He was more or less just following through just to see what would happen. And sure enough, it worked out perfectly. It was a good idea from Drippy, but the execution just wasn't quite there. Needed to follow that one through with, say, a front flip or something like that to add some momentum to the ball. That would have at least stalled it, or maybe even pushed, maybe it would have pushed Squishy off of the line right there and would have forced everyone else to try to launch at that ball. It was a great idea. It looked cool, that's for sure.
Well, a fantastic goal from Squishy. He played that as well as he possibly could have, and clinches the win for Cloud9 in Game 3 as well. So that means we are on match point right now. In a best of 5, they would have already won, but the best of 7 means Evil Geniuses gets one more chance, and they cannot squander that now. 4 games in a row, or they are out of the tournament. At this point, I think Cloud9 have shown that they certainly deserve to make it to the grand finals, and they have put up a very strong case for themselves, to put it mildly.
I mean, I'd have to agree with you. I think everyone else would agree with you as well. But I mean, Evil Genius is starting to really show their form. I think they're starting to get a little bit more comfortable with each other. We're seeing a little bit more communication and just anticipation of where everyone is going to be at this level of play. And that includes their tracking of Cloud9 in general. You know, we're starting to see them move towards the corner. We're not seeing so many direct passes. I think Evil Genius is just trying to get some ball control more than anything else. And if you're going up against Cloud9, that is impeccably important.
Here we go. Final chance for Evil Geniuses to essentially move a mountain at this point.
Uh-oh.
And that is going to be almost an open net, but Gimmick will get that final dunk against Corrupted G to put it away for first blood.
So Gimmick did demo Corrupted G, and G-Boy right there does spawn. He gets there. It's the only thing he could do at that point. But Gimmick on the follow-up, and that's the key to that goal, is that Gimmick had the wherewithal to just follow up. He knew that there was going to be a spawn at that point, and just get there to make sure the goal happens.
It's another strong start for Cloud9 in what could be the deciding game of the series. And Evil Genius is once more forced to take some risks here. Drippy gets it off of the back wall. Classics trying to cut the angle there. Can't quite make it happen. Puts it wide. Corrupted G losing control of the ball on the side of the field. Doing a good job at back passing that one. Clean transition into a dribble there on Gimmick. Evil Geniuses are holding on to that 1-goal deficit for the time being. It's only going to be a matter of time to Cloud9 score again, though, if EG can break out of their own half. Classic trying to slow it down somewhat. Early flick forward. Drippy gets it off of the backboard, but Gimmick making sure he gets the ball first before Corrupted G can.
I'm trying to read what Evil Geniuses are trying to do here. And we're not seeing a whole lot of midfield control. They're kind of just letting Cloud9 back onto their half, whereas Cloud9 are challenging everything. That said, I mean, Evil Geniuses are challenging just about everything, but they're doing it from a little bit farther behind and trying to go sort of more that classic NA style with that long clears and things like that as Classic shoots. Torrent will send it away, but Drippy's right there. Speedy boy Squishy.
Yep, good attempt. Squishy has been having a fantastic defensive match all throughout. He's coming for saves that any player necessarily wouldn't have gotten. Great pass onto Corrupted G. Looking to gain more distance on that shot. Squishy slowing down the pace. Classics to put that one into the corner. Not the bounce he was looking for. It's cleared immediately by Cloud9. And back to square one as far as the EG offense goes. Torment puts it off of the backboard. Classics will have this one. Defers to Corrupted G. He managed to keep Cloud9 away from the goal for the time being, but Cloud9 remains in ball control. Another attempt from Squishy, puts it on the inside of the post, and in it goes.
And squishy challenge by Drip Air here. That was a good challenge. Torment just takes over and gets a beautiful double touch off the wall, using the front of the car to get the angle just right. And Squishy right there, exactly where it needed to be at that point. Beautifully executed. And like you said, the Cloud9, it's only another... Oh, never mind. Corrupted G going kickoff mode.
Yep, a kickoff goal for EG, and it's so important for them at this point to be able to stay at least within one of Cloud9. With half a game still left to go, they still are in this, and they still have a chance, but they need to make it count. Time, well, it's not going to increase, that's for sure. So they need to make it count, and they need to make it count soon. Bit of a disarray on defense. Classics managing to push that one through, gain some ground in the blue half of the field. Squishy puts it past the midfield line. Drippe coming in for the block. Here comes Gimmick looking to push that one forward, but that was beautifully played from Drippe. He corrupted G, blowing up Gimmick on the side of the field. Infield pass, but no one there to pick it up. Squishy stops the ball for Gimmick, but he takes a little too long for the shot. Corrupted G gets it on his way down. Solid defending from EG, and here's the counter opportunity. Classics over to Drippe. Angle is cut by Gimmick, and that'll be the end of this counter.
But what a just heads up play there by Drippe, just staying in it, realizing that he might be able to just get a touch, slow it down, wait for his teammates to get back. A great pass here. Classics shooting and knocked away.
And yet another save by Squishy. Unbelievable what this boy puts on the field as far as defense goes. Consistently, game after game, match after match, tournament after tournament. Cloud9's defense are always a final boss.
Ooh.
Tries to play it long to the corner, trying to gain some space in the final third. The pass onto Corrupt G is good, but he puts it against the crossbar, even though he had plenty of space on the top shelf.
He really needed to make that shot. That would have been absolutely pivotal, especially coming in here to the final minute when things are going to get crazy. Cloud9's going to step up their game, going to want to challenge just about everything, and even just waste time. These high lobs are going to use up all the time, so I would expect Cloud9 to challenge anything on the ground and then just lob it high.
Nearing the final 30 seconds of the game. Evil Geniuses have to score. It's going to be yet another sweep at the hands of Cloud9. Just like their match history has suggested before this match even went underway. It'll be the third consecutive sweeps in encounters, and Gimmick, 16 seconds from the end, scores another one that surely has got to be it for EG.
And Drippe just kind of advancing on the backboard a little bit too far, and really needed to be above that or even on the other side. And that's a tough one to kind of call because you don't expect a pass like that. But then again, you're playing Cloud9. You should kind of know that. Oh, Classics kickoff goal taking on Squishy of all people, and Squishy coming off of the top of the net. Now Drippe trying to knock this down.
Another one.
Again going off the top of the net. What is this?
Yeah, Squishy is on a mission right now. Do not allow anyone to score under any circumstances, and he does so twice in a row. And I don't know how many time in the series overall. Squishy, there he is on your screens, front and forward. What a player, what a form he is in tonight. Impossible to get past. And he's been scoring left and right as well. Cloud9 looking really strong tonight, delivering yet another clean sweep to Evil Geniuses.
But, I mean, these are great games for Evil Geniuses. They kind of have an idea as to what to work on. You know, Drippe's starting to kind of fill in and figure out where he fits on the team. This is a massive improvement compared to what we've seen before from EG. And they know what to work on now. And you know Fireworks is going to come back to them, you know, once they've kind of calmed down a little bit and start figuring it out. Start breaking down some replays. They have a ton of excellent material here just from this series. To figure a few things out, and I fully expect Evil Geniuses to clean up their act a little bit, you know, work on some of that accuracy and work on the psychology. It did kind of seem like, you know, Classics was playing a little bit nervous. Maybe Drippe was playing a little bit nervous as well. And, you know, in doing so, it sort of made them miss a couple of things here and there, the normal things that they wouldn't necessarily miss, or even call outs and things like that. They just weren't quite there yet. but you mentioned it multiple times, Pash. They're showing a ton of promise.
Yeah.
They still have some time to work out all their kinks before the RLCS season starts. And I really think that EG by the end of the season is going to be reckoned with. The better question is, will Cloud9 be able to improve any more than they already have in the last couple of months? Because honestly, that was beautiful.
Oh, yeah. It certainly was. They've been playing at a high level for such a long time now and are always an imposing threat to face. And Evil Geniuses has now experienced why that is. But yeah, I agree with you. Evil Geniuses, there's lots of room for improvement there. And I'm pretty sure they're all experienced players and they've got an experienced coach looking over their shoulders. And this series is going to be valuable material. Especially as far as getting Drippe into the team flow goes. He's a relatively recent addition to the team. And I think there is lots and lots of potential there. I'm looking forward to seeing more from Evil Geniuses as the RLCS season rolls on. But for tonight, we're going to have to say goodbye for them. And we're going to be seeing Cloud9 in the grand final. And they're going to be facing one of two teams that know each other like the backs of their hands, like the pockets in their pants. What a match we have for you upcoming in the second semifinal. It is going to be NRG versus G2. It is a rivalry that goes back as far as anyone can think. Both these teams have been around in the Rocket League scene ever since it walked in its baby shoes. Which way will it go tonight? We're about to find out after a short break. Do not go anywhere. The second semifinal, NRG versus G2, is coming up. We are back to a stacked Astronauts Rocket League 3v3 tournament powered by Team Beyond and ASTRO Gaming. My name's Tapash. Joining me tonight is Ninja Rider.
Hi.
It's been an interesting first match, that much is for sure. Cloud9 absolutely on form tonight, especially on defense.
Yeah.
But now it's time to find out who will meet them in the grand final.
Yeah, no, they really are on form. But now we have NRG versus G2, the classic matchup. And honestly, it's too close to call. I mean, Chicago has had a little bit more time to kind of fit in and figure out his role with JNaps and Rizzo. And of course, Fireburner, Garrett, and Justin. Come on.
Yeah, where can we even begin on this matchup? There's so much history between those two teams, and they've been pulling in the results as well on the professional circuit, with NRG taking second place at WSOE in late January, and then making a semifinal exit at DreamHack Leipzig earlier in February, and then G2 coming into this Astronauts Cup as the reigning champions. They won the last one versus Bread in a 4-2 grand finals.
Yep.
Did go out against Savage at DreamHack in the quarterfinals, and they've already had a bit of a nail-biter to deal with tonight in this very bracket, because as we've been told, they were taken a Game 5 overtime by Birds and Beats. The question right now is, does a close call like that put a bit of a stopper into your momentum, or does it only elevate your ambitions and elevate your hype and put a lot of confidence into you?
So for those who don't know, Birds and the Bees, made up of Roldiz, Hoxer, and Mist, honestly a fantastic team, but coming from the community, you know, they had a lot on their plate, but they managed to take G2 to Game 5, like you said, Pash, and honestly, that's kind of tough, but G2 have had a chance to just relax for a few minutes, just chill, maybe regroup, get some water in them, and let's go, I guess, because energy's ready to go.
Players cannot wait to get this started. And here we go. We're going to have Energy on blue and G2 on orange. Just for the record, the last two times these two teams met, it's a rematch of the Rival Esports Winter Open, which happened very recently. And Energy won that one in a 4-3 grand final. And of course, it's a WSOE semi-final rematch as well, which Energy also won 4-2. So it was always a close affair, but Energy generally coming out on top, and they're so close to getting scored on in these early stages of the game. G2 Esports can't quite put the ball past the line. And now Energy Esports looking to counter that immediately. JNaps has lots of space in the midfield right now, puts it upwards, lops it over the final defender, and that's going to be first blood for G2.
Yeah, and NRG just pushing way too hard on this. JNaps, stop and go. Nice little change up there, just switching it up. Perfect placement too, right where Justin was, because Justin was floating just a little bit in that shot. Now it was a little bit risky because it did kind of get pretty close, let's face it, but that's all right. It goes in. That's really all that matters. Big miss for Rizzo. Luckily Chicago backs him up.
Aerial contest between Chicago and Fireburner. Justin coming in from the side, looking for the angle here. Comes off just shy of the post. Fireburner rushing down midfield. Rizzo covering the backboard here. Justin in the corner, looking to keep possession in their hands. Chicago with a miss, but JNaps has got him covered. Still gives up a little bit of space, which Fireburner will gladly take to keep the ball in the final third. A long clear coming through from G2.
Oh,
Chicago gets blown up in the corner. And Garrett G gets it past the second one, sets it up perfectly for Justin right in front of the net, and there's the equalizer.
Rizzo cycles into the net right here and then stops, hesitates just a little bit. Garrett able to get the pass off. I don't even think Garrett realized that there was somebody even in the net at that point. Justin just racing up to make the shot, and we're tied at 1.
Chicago onto Rizzo, and he manages to sneak it by relatively close to kickoff for another lead.
And Fireburner needed to challenge that and ended up getting Fireburner himself. Chicago in there, just putting pressure on Justin, forcing Justin to get up in the air and try to dodge, well, a screaming bullet. Let's face it, it was a beautiful pass, well played, a double team effort to bring G2 into the lead.
We do Chicago versus Fireburner and GRG on the goal line. Was going to be difficult to get that through. Chicago demolition onto Garrett, but Fireburner is well underway on the counter. That one getting blocked by Rizzo. JNAP's winning a lot of space here. Rizzo following that ball into the corner. And here comes JNAP's looking to exploit the short angle, but Fireburn has got that one covered. And Justin makes the second attempt come off of the back wall. 2 minutes in, it's a 1-goal lead for G2. Very slim, though, especially considering the pace of the game right now.
You know, Chicago's kind of racing around the pitch. He's eating up a lot of boost, and there's a few double commits here and there. They're more or less safe double commits, but it's like he's trying to push the pace of play, but his teammates aren't necessarily doing the exact same thing. So they're slightly on different pages. Garrett G, that's a big one that really should have been a shot.
Halftime, JNAP's in the midfield trying to set something up for Rizzo here. A little too far forward. Fireburn will have that one covered. JNAP's gets it back into midfield. Rizzo! What a shot that was. Closed angle. Vertical start.
Yeah, Rizzo coming off of the backboard and using... He actually twisted just a little bit, got himself upside down, and then rolled to make that shot happen. Just put a little bit of mustard on it, just enough to kind of edge that one in case someone was coming up. It's a 2-goal lead here for G2. Let's see what happens.
Beautiful stuff, certainly, from Rizzo there, and the player's slowing down somewhat. I think it may be because JNAP's hasn't moved from his spot yet.
And JNAP's has actually stopped on the pitch. Might be a bit of a technical here.
Yeah, it seems like it. Well, he's back to being...
Oh, no, he's back.
An alive player on the pitch. Good showing of sportsmanship to slow down the play, or pretty much stop the game until the player gets back. Looks like the players are requesting a restart here. And it looks like both teams agree to restart at the time and the score where the disconnect happened. That should be around 2 minutes and 20 seconds at 3-1 for G2 Esports. So a bit of a break because of technical issues, but we are getting the lobby restarted and a new match underway. Both teams agree to it, so there is absolutely no problem in doing that. Again, great showing of sportsmanship. As soon as JNAP stopped moving, play was immediately stopped, and both teams pretty much knew exactly what was going on, so kudos to that. But yeah, what a match that was up to that point.
No, I mean, what a match so far, let's face it. A lot of options being exploited by both teams, but you know, we're seeing a lot of shooting lanes being shut down, and by both teams, there's some shot prediction happening. It's definitely a completely different game than we saw between Cloud9 and EG. These two teams seem to be a little bit more matched, if you will, and we kind of expected that going in, just with the history between these two guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It is a hotly contested match for sure. And G2, I mean, that goal from Rizzo was just a thing of beauty.
I mean, it was, but you realize how hard they had to push for that. You know that.
Yeah,
that's
certainly.
One of those things that you would think they would want to avoid. They would want to go for the more simple sort of shots and goals, but they had to keep energy on their toes, and to make something like that happen requires a definite amount of skill and tenacity. Just in the way that Rizzo recovered, he was covering the backboard before anyone else on NRG was even thinking about it. And just getting ahead of the curve is exactly what's going to have to happen between these two teams. We'll see who can do that. And it looks like we're having a game restart.
Yeah, it looks like these players are going to run down the clock and get the scoreline to the way it was before.
Okay.
So nothing too interesting happening here right now. But yeah, let's talk about how the game has been going up to that point. It's really been an all offensive affair. Both teams are quick down the field, looking to set up passes early, trying to lock down the midfield and especially the corners. Always someone ready in the midfield. It was pretty structured and high-octane play. I'm curious to see whether this. I mean, it certainly is a break. Both teams are trying to build their momentum, and especially G2 is certainly building up at the point where the game stopped. The question is, will this break affect any of the game?
I don't know. These guys are pros. They've seen it happen before. and we don't have the sort of capabilities that the RLCS guys, have. So, doing these sort of things, it's kind of tough to do. Let's face it. But don't really expect something like this to happen. It's pretty rare that it actually happens, to be honest with you. And Beyond runs a lot of tournaments, and this is the first time that this has actually happened in a Beyond Rocket League, at least that I can remember easily since I started casting it.
Yeah, it's certainly rare, but sometimes these things do happen. And yeah, I've mentioned it before, you always got to commend the players for stopping the match so quickly and agreeing to a rematch. So 2 minutes and 20 seconds is the mark at which the third goal for G2 is probably going to be scored, so we can reset and start fresh off the kickoff. What do you expect for the rest of the game?
I'm expecting more of the same, but I also think that the guys are going to take this time to regroup and, figure out some defense, make sure that their goals are covered properly, and not allow those crazy goals to happen like Rizzo's right there. I think really NRG, they've never really had a problem on defense, but, G2 would definitely know what to do against them. So I think both teams are going to have to change up their tactics just a little bit and force the other squad to rethink their positioning, and whoever can kind of knock each other off balance first is probably going to take this, honestly, at least in this particular game. Now, obviously, this is just a weird kind of coincidence in the way that things worked out. What are you going to do,
For both of these teams, until the point where the disconnect happened, it's rather a counter-focused play. Possession was switching back and forth frantically. The ball was flying back and forth between the orange and the blue halves, and it was really all about those final thirds. The question is, obviously both teams are comfortable playing this kind of style, and we see them play it over and over again, and many teams are struggling against that kind of style, especially ones that are not quite putting as much focus on defense as other teams like Cloud9 might be doing. Here we have two teams that play a very similar style, very attack-focused, very fast-paced. And it's really, we haven't really seen any crazy saves yet, nothing too crazy on the defensive movement. It's really been all about pushing forward.
Yeah, it's been all about pushing forward. We're not seeing a lot of real ball possession either. So I would expect that to come through, and they are going now.
We are back in the game, 2 minutes and 30 seconds just at halftime, and we are back. 3 goals to G2 and 1 to NRG. Let's see if any of those teams will be switching up their pace somewhat. And again, clear quickly, served back by JNaps, and then straight back to Gary G by Fireburner. See Chicago come off of the backboard early for this one. Justin trying to set something up for Jared G, but he can't quite get a handle on the ball. I was a little surprised by that fast pass. And again, ball sent down the midfield immediately. Chicago not quite going to get his hand on the pass. Gary G intercepts that attempt, gets it off of the backboard here. Justin is ready to convert, and to convert he does. Very well done. 1 goal deficit left.
This is all energy right here. Chicago realizing he's going to have to challenge that, but Garrett G taking it all the way to the wall. Rizzo just trying to do something, trying to disrupt Justin's thought process, and it just flat out didn't work on that particular play. But now G2 only have the 1 goal lead. There's plenty of time left. Who knows what's going to happen next?
Rizzo with a bit of a dead ball in the corner. Chicago gets it past Fireburner, though, looking to dunk it past Justin, but he can't quite make it happen. Well defended. JNaps immediately pushing that one back into the corner, trying to pinch it against the ramp, not quite getting the pinch off, but Rizzo is there to cover him on the backboard. Very well defended by Garrett G. G2 are still on the buzzer here, as Justin's clear attempt gets immediately blocked at the midfield line. Fireburner will pick it up on the other side of the field, push on through in the corner as well. JNaps with a pop over, can't quite get past Justin. This pass will find Chicago. He puts it into the corner yet again. Fireburner's waiting there, trying to build up the play from the back. Final minute is on the board. JNaps with a shot on target. Not a too difficult one to save for Justin. G2 kind of just trying to force something through here right now. The final minute is on the board.
G2 is actually having a little bit of issue rotating on defense. They want to have somebody forward to receive a pass and just get a quick play going, it seems like. But the problem is that and it could be either one of them, not necessarily a specific person, is a little bit out of position. Like right here, that technically shouldn't have worked, but JNAPS makes it work even though he got bumped by his own teammate as they jockey for position.
Oh, certainly no dunk there, actually. It was just a clean cut by both players, looking for the same angle there. But yeah, all members of Energy Esports caught on the same side of the field, a perfect pass in the midfield, a nice cut to the center of the field. And suddenly there's an open goal to score on, and that should pretty much seal the beautiful game number 1 here right now, unless we see 2 goals in quick succession for Energy Esports. But no, Garrett G disengaging, JNABs controlling the ball, running down the seconds here right now. Garrett looking for another goal, but Chicago will save that as well, and that is going to be all she wrote, at least for game number 1. Now, obviously, there is that huge break in the middle of the game, and both teams were noticeably slower after the break, which is, I mean, to be expected. You can't really be expected to pick up where you left off in the middle of the game. So that might have been a factor here. Energy Esports managed to score once, but ultimately the score line is the same. A 2-goal deficit to go on through. Game 2 will be played from the start to the finish. Hopefully, we'll get no more breaks like that. And
hopefully. The thing is, though, I mean, you expect these guys to kind of be ready for just about anything, especially in situations like that. They've all seen weird things like that happen before. So you expect them to just kind of fall right back into line, but we kind of saw a byproduct of the fact that they were able to kind of mess around in game and, wait for time to run out. And once they did, you mentioned that, they were going a little bit slower, but I wonder if it kind of just became another feel-out process and just how everybody was playing again, because it's like another break. They basically broke 1 game into 2. So I don't know, we'll have to see. I mean, game 2 usually ends up running way different than game 1's as JNAPS tries to go for a shot right here.
Dangerous situation in front of the Energy goal. Another center ball attempted by Rizzo, but that one only finds Garrett G, and he will pass it off to Justin for a clean counter. First blood to Energy.
Yeah, Garrett right here. Straight to oh my God,
that
what
was
a
such
touch.
a good touch. Just barely get it over JNAPS there.
I mean, butter. Straight butter.
What a clean start to game number 2 for Energy. G2 looking to respond as quickly as possible. Rizzo can't quite get into on target there, and Fireburner making sure that it won't come down in front of the net. Completely out of boost now, so this contest against JNABS he was destined to lose. Rizzo keeps the ball on the blue half for the time being. Rolls up the ramp now, but JNABS still finding himself extremely low on boost. Couldn't really get into this play, and Justin carrying it all the way to the orange half uncontested, because G2 can't get off the ground right now. A bit of an extended siege may be starting to establish itself here for Energy. Rizzo fresh with a full tank. Gets it over 1. The handoff in the corner did not quite go according to plan. Justin with a wonderful flick over one of the defenders, but Rizzo is on the goal line and will be able to save that one away. Energy really looking for their second goal here right now, but G2 holding on for the time being.
Yeah, for the time being they are, but they're being pretty smart about it. They're not really committing too crazy on plays, and when they know that a play is going to die out, the other 2 players that aren't involved just kind of back off. The problem is they're not getting a whole lot of pressure building up either. So I would expect to see some pass plays start to develop on the G2 side, whereas things like this, NRG have been doing that all game. They've been having a man up, looking for a pass, and ready to go for a shot. It's forcing G2 to at least have 1 man back. So I think G2 are just going to have to take a risk here as time begins to run out a little bit. I mean, we'll have to see as the game wears on. The thing is, the game is wearing on quite fast.
Oh, yeah, certainly is. We are back to the high pace we had before the break in game number 1. Fireburner to push it forward. No one really there to pick it up, so that one was pretty much gifted to JNAPS, but Justin will pick up on that clear, send it straight back to orange. Corner control in the hands of G2 right now.
Double commit. Not
Great
good.
contest from Justin, though, to put it straight back under the corner. And the other side, and the angle is being found by Garrett. Far post, beautiful.
Okay, so Chicago actually hesitated in the middle of the field. He thought maybe that challenge was going to be one out, so he was going to race ahead and try to get a quick shot in. The problem is it wasn't. So he ends up kind of shadowing the ball a little bit and just finds himself on completely the wrong side of the play. Trying to chase that shot down, it's just not going to happen, especially with placement like that. And NRG got themselves a 2-goal lead. Rizzo has something to say about it, though.
Good save from Garrett. Saw that shot coming from JNAPS. Nothing too unpredictable from his end. Justin gets his flip back on the ceiling. Can't quite go for the double tap, not low enough. Garrett was ready to try and finish that one off for him. Ultimately, the ball did not go his way. A good save from Justin. 2 minutes left to play here, and a 2-goal lead for Energy for the time being. Nicely played by Fireburner off of the backboard, preventing any dangerous positions to arise. The G2 are looking to force the issue here, throwing themselves into the contests early, making sure to boost starve NRG to the best of their ability. They're going to need to score soon because time is running short here right now.
I mean, G2 only have 5 shots on the board. That's it. It's time to get some possession going. It's time to move that ball past the half-field line. And not just these long clears either. They really need to get some real possession going instead of relying on challenges like that. Oh, here we go.
Solid pass. Just short of the net. Justin coming up early again for this one. Chicago using the last of his boots to try and center that ball. That was a blue trail on that ball for that close shot. JNAPS will get the second touch and finish it off.
And Chicago with a nice center here, but Garrett G challenging Rizzo. I think Rizzo kind of running a bit of a screenplay. It's actually a great idea. Huh. That's definitely an interesting play, and I told you that they were going to need to put up some odd plays to put energy on their toes, and that right there is a great example of one. It took all 3 players, and it was definite risk, but it worked out perfectly.
JNAPS making sure that Justin cannot convert that one into a shot. They need to break out their own half as soon as they possibly can. Garrett G gets it over. Final defender managing to sweep that off of the backboard and outfield yet again. 30 seconds remaining and Garrett is on the ball. Backboard is covered by Rizzo though, and JNAPS in the midfield. Rizzo not quite getting his hands on the ball on the side of the field there. JNAPS with the chance to transition into a dribble, but Fireburner goes in early and shuts that straight down. Chicago setting something up in the midfield. Very well defended by Justin, going up earlier rather than later for that one. All that Fireburner needs to do now is run down the clock. Or will we see another final offense mounted by G2? Justin with a wonderful midfield block and come off the backboard. And Chicago will keep the ball in play though, so G2 not quite content in giving this one up, but Garrett G will make sure he's slamming that one on the ground. And that is going to be the equalizer in the series, 1-1 after 2 games.
Energy really had a lot of ball possession. And we talked about that quite a bit as things went down, down to the wire. And G2, a lot of long clears, just trying to play kind of the safe route. It didn't really work for them. They really had to risk it once they got down the field. Energy just putting up the wall again. And this time it worked out. They seem to be a little bit more organized compared to G2. But really, that's about it, other than the fact that Justin had 6 shots. That's so many shots. So many shots for Justin. Jeez, dude.
Certainly is. 6 shots might be something that you see out of the entire team in a particularly slow-paced match, but Justin will get that on the board just for himself for this one. So yeah, Energy versus G2 never disappoints. Certainly doesn't tonight either. Game 3 is underway. We are on Urban Central. Let's see which way the tides will turn in the series. Push forward from Garrett G. Nothing too difficult for Rizzo. Slow start to the game for the time being. JNAPS up against Justin. Ball is dead in midfield. Both teams waiting for contesting that one, but then simultaneously going for it in the end. Energy slowly but surely working their way into the half of G2 here. But nothing too dangerous happening just yet. Backboard is covered by Chicago. Justin waiting in the corner, getting it centered. Fireburner looking to sneak one past, but Rizzo able to save that one on the goal line. Such a close call.
It was a close call, especially because Rizzo was essentially out of control. He didn't have the boost to really control the car at all, and just managed to come off the wall at kind of an awkward angle. It just worked out that way. Still sitting 0-0. Oh, this is dangerous.
Boy. Oh, inside of the goalpost. Such a close call, and JNAP can't quite get the angle on that one. Whew, NRG getting away with one there. And Rizzo trying to set something up for the midfield here. Justin blocking any opportunities. Nobody was ready to follow up on that setup anyway. All is killed right on the midfield line. Good save from Fireburner off the first shot on target we've seen from JNAPs in this game, and the second overall from G2 Esports, even though they're already 2 minutes in. Noticeable slowdown of pace as far as the series goes.
I think both teams just trying to figure out some sort of ball control. Maybe they've kind of figured out that that's what needs to happen. These long lobs are just not doing it. You can see Rizzo trying to just keep control of this ball, but of course Fireburner right then and there. And NRG trying to get some pass plays going, just trying to open up the pitch a little bit, but it's just not quite working. You know what? I take that back. This might work out well.
Well, not for the time being. We're nearing halftime, and there's still no goal on the board. Quite unusual for a game between NRG and G2, but such is life.
I mean, that's pretty usual to see at least, 4 goals in the game, more than anything else, and not necessarily 4 goals for one team. But this time around, it just seems like, Urban Central might be throwing people off. We saw this in the last
something here. Gives it a sneak tap. Garrett G, patient on the goal line. Yet another save. To NRG, who have racked up 4 for the time being, which again is rather low for a match between 2 very attacking focused teams such as NRG and G2. This one's going to come off of the backboard. Chicago with no boost whatsoever in the final stages of that aerial contest. Here comes Garrett trying to set something up for Fireburner. Early contest coming out from G2 Esports, and that nips that play in the bud. And that pass is intercepted as well. Everything that either of those teams try is being shut down early by the other team.
And most of that has to do with the follow-up. Everybody's following up on everything. It's Garrett's shot!
Beautiful.
Oh.
Out of nowhere, Justin puts a pinpoint pass onto Garrett.
And so I would have thought that Rizzo right there would have jumped for it, but I think he may have been lining himself up for the next boost pad, or just, trying to figure out where in the rotation he was. He did look like he was a touch confused. But, Chicago JNAPs had no idea that there was somebody there, but off a kickoff.
Oh, save from Garrett. Rizzo had all the time in the world for that one. Waited for the ball to come down in front of the net, but waited just a little bit too long. Almost able to tie the game up straight away. Final minute is on the clock. JNAP's in the midfield to push it forward. Comes off of the back wall, uncontested center ball, but Rizzo too far in midfield to really get into the fray for that one. Gets blown up, goes up in a ball of fire. Chicago versus 2 here right now. Tries to go for the angle after the tap against the back wall. A little over-ambitious there. Shot goes wide. Rizzo again versus 2. And NRG, knowing that they have to rely on their defense right now with 30 seconds left on the clock. G2 Esports are opening up the floodgates right now as far as shots go. Finally, some breathing space for NRG. They break out of their own half, but Chicago trying to set something up for Rizzo yet again, but he was waiting for the side boost there. Rizzo up. Intercepted by Fireburner, puts it into the corner. Misses the touch there, but Chicago expected him to get it and was not in a position to counter contest that ball. And yet again, G2 finding themselves having to juggle the ball, but this time they don't get it off the ground in time. NRG Esports win game 2 as well, game 3 as well, and go up by 2 in the series.
And it just seemed like G2 were trying a little bit too hard on offense, trying to draw out defenders. Now, usually that's a great thing to do, but in these situations, you kind of have to force saves. And at this level of play, usually here at Beyond, we do get a lot of community guys and community teams who maybe don't quite have the experience that Energy and G2 would have. Uh, and generally, making the passes that G2 were doing on their offensive end would work in other situations, but you're going up against a seriously experienced team. Energy have an idea of where the next shot is coming from. They know where the pass is going, and they have an idea because they're so reticent of where everybody is at all times. They just remain patient, and it worked out for them beautifully that game. Let's see if they do it again here in Game 4.
Game 4 underway. Energy with a slight edge as far as the series score goes. Nothing G2 hasn't dealt with before. Again, though, to remind you, the last 2 times these 2 teams have met, Energy usually came out on top. G2 were able to take 2 games off of them at a minimum. And the Rival Esports winner opening grand final went all the way to Game 7. Oh. Ultimately, Energy always coming out on top. Chicago with a good chance, saved by Garrett G here. They're going to find another one. This time, Justin will cut off the angle.
Big demo
up, though, and demolition onto Justin. Make sure that no one will be able to save that one.
That was absolutely huge. Chicago just kind of moving it towards the net. That forced Justin to try to make a touch on that. And Fireburner also went for it. That put him out of the play. The demo completely opened up the net. G2 on the board first.
Coming out with a bang, literally in more ways than one. Double tap attempted, leaves it for Rizzo, but Garrett able to save that one off of the goal line. G2 looking for blood here.
G2, okay, all right.
Here comes Garrett. Chicago will be able to get that save.
G2 seems like they have a little bit of a renewed vigor here. They are moving quickly down the field. A little bit of a miss on that play, but you can see they're trying to pass it and just keep it between themselves. But Energy have kind of turtled up a little bit. You would expect them to start attacking in the same way, just matching them at everything, because Energy can do that. Still got a lot of time, though, so I think they're playing a little bit patient as well at the same time.
Whoa! Fireburner gets it off the back wall here. Garrett, unfortunately, not in position quickly enough. The demolition onto Chicago. Opens up the long angle, though, and Justin will immediately capitalize.
Yeah, Rizzo was trying to collect a little bit of boost to just be ready for it. He was picking up the pennies as he made his way back to the net. But then when he finally did get back to the net, stopped. Had no momentum. He didn't stop at the post like you're supposed to, like we talk about all the time. That's right, everyone. Even the pros do it. You're not alone.
Chicago looking to flick it past Fireburner here, but he's a little too seasoned to fall for that. Long angle shot hits the crossbar, but the follow-up from Garrett will find the net here. And Energy get their lead right back.
Chicago was the closest to this one as the ball kind of came towards the net. Rizzo with a flip. J-Nep's out of the play, basically. But Chicago, honestly, that looked like he had it, but he did jump off of the bottom of the net, and I think maybe the server didn't quite pick up the touch. Both teams in their chest actually saying that was a save. Well,
it certainly wasn't as far as the server is concerned, and unfortunately around these parts, the server is the law.
The server is God. I gotta mess the voice. I gotta use it.
You are far from out of this game. Here's a good pass onto Fireburner. J-Naps will save that one off of the goal line. Rizzo to play that back into the corner where J-Naps is already waiting. Gets it past Justin, who went up early for the contest, and the ball is on the blue half now. Gets it off the backboard.
Oh, big miss.
And that's a big miss and a big shot from Rizzo to tie the game right back up.
Yeah, Fireburner had the right idea here. Challenged this ball because he knew Garrett G was coming in to cycle through. Justin getting in the way of Rizzo, who would have ended up being the shot anyways. Again, everything was fine. Garrett just missed. It was a slight mistake right there by Garrett. He flipped to the side, missed the ball on the plate. That right there is where it all fell apart. G2 was right there ready to pounce. So well done to G2 for being there to capitalize on the mistake.
So at halftime, the slate is clean. We're starting essentially from scratch. No lead, no deficit. JNAPS. Far forward, blocked by Fireburner, puts it off the wall. Justin onto Garrett, a good passing play, just shy of meeting the target there. Chicago demolished on the side of the field, and nothing really coming from that as the ball was on its way out. Another demolition onto Garrett this time around, but the pass onto Justin is absolutely perfect. Can't get enough speed on the ball, though, to prevent Chicago coming in from the side.
Yeah, there was a bit of a slight bounce to that. It was just a little bit of an awkward bounce. Didn't quite work out for him that time.
And G2 looking to rebuild the play. Garrett taking control of the ball on the side of the field. Flips it off to the side. Perfect pass onto Justin. What a goal from Energy.
Coming off of the sideboard right here, Garrett realizing he had someone in the middle. Rizzo kind of creeping up on the play, but Garrett got a little bit of a flick on it, and it was enough to push it there. Justin had to readjust, but he was able to do it efficiently. That whole play was all about efficiency. Energy saving energy.
Fireburner off a kickoff against Chicago, who stood just in the right place to defend that. Garrett G with a center ball is going to go wide. No one there to pick up on the setup. And Rizzo to send it downfield, straight onto Fireburner, though. Justin is going to look to get this past Chicago, trying to cut it inwards, but Chicago saw that one coming. Good block. Chicago versus Garrett in the final third. Justin is the one who ends up getting his hands on the ball after that. Justin gets it past JNAPS as well, but Rizzo throwing his last into that ball to save it off into the corner. Energy still in the lead by 1 goal. Here comes Rizzo trying to sneak one in. Can't quite make it happen just yet. Chicago looking for the angle right there. JNAPS was ready as a passing station in the midfield, but he has back towards the ball. So really didn't have any better options from the corner at that time. 30 seconds remaining. JNAPS looking to contest this clear from Garrett. Rizzo keeping the ball in the final third. Justin to pop it up and off of the back wall. Chicago getting in between that one, though.
Oh!
He finds the angle, gets it past the defender. Equalizer from Chicago.
I think Chicago's been studying the old school Fireburner, because right there, perfect challenge from Chicago. Realizing that Fireburner was going to jump up for that and try to cut off the shooting angle, but actually able to get there just in time to redirect that ball into a slightly different angle, and Fireburner was trying to correct for it. Just couldn't quite get it done. We are tied at 3, 10 seconds left.
Might be on our way into the second overtime of the match here. If G2 doesn't convert this one, Garrett G with an important save and the demolition from Justin onto Chicago, but the ball is still high up in the air. Garrett G over to Justin. Fireburner might get a shot. Here comes off of the backboard. Garrett G, Rizzo getting ready for the defense. Follow-up shot is blocked as well. And finally the ball touches the ground. Energy really looking for that buzzer beater, but ultimately overtime number 2 in match number 4.
That was actually really smart of Rizzo to hang out on the backboard right there, just to cover, make sure everything was covered while his teammates made a defensive move, and he was right there. Get a little bit unlucky that it bounced off Fireburner, but it's okay. It ended up working out in their favor.
Nice flick from Rizzo, gets immediately blown up for it by Fireburner. Chicago has a handle on the ball, but Fireburner getting in between it before he can get the second touch on it. Another demo, this time JNAPS in the central position. Chicago is going to be there to try and pick up on his flag. Can't quite put the ball on target, though. Blows up Fireburner, and JNAPS might have had a shot, but the ball came at him, and he didn't have enough momentum to convert that into a fast shot on target. The idea was good, though. Ball is up high. Garrett with a long clear straight into the orange corner. JNAPS looking for the pass onto Rizzo. It's going to land. JNAPS keeping himself ready in the midfield. Rizzo waiting for the very last moment for the pass. Completely trumps the defense right there. Stumps them and allows Chicago to score.
What happened? I mean, Garrett G was right there. Fireburner right there. They double committed on the play, and then just nothing. Absolutely no reaction after that happened.
Waited for a pass that never came.
It just never came. What?
That was beautiful stuff.
It was insane. And honestly, that comes down to G2 just being ready for something like that. They weren't overcommitted in the overtime. They allowed themselves some space. They had one guy up trying to make a play happen, you know, kind of messing with energy. And then when it came time to strike, someone was there to strike. You can see how Chicago actually kind of creeped up into the play. He wasn't necessarily, you know, a huge part of it, but when he was needed, he was right there. It was perfect, flawless execution on that particular play. Well done to Fireburner. Or I'm sorry, to Chicago. And for some reason, Fireburner has left the match. I think he's trying to reset.
Or he might be switching cars. I guess we'll see once. Yeah, he is back in the match now, so nothing too serious there. But yeah, what a finish from G2. Beautiful stuff from Rizzo to completely trump the energy defense in overtime. And to get themselves into overtime as well after a flurry of shots from energy in the closing moment of regulation time. Ties up the series at 2, and as we go into game number 5, both teams still with a safety net below them. We're seeing at least game 6. At this point, essentially being half-time of the series, I'm going to have to ask you, because I didn't ask you before the match. Now you've had 4 games to watch these teams play. Who's taking it? Perfect reaction.
It's so even, honestly. It's really going to come down to who's going to make the most mistakes. And that's kind of what these pro games come down to in general. Chicago cleaned up his act after game 1. He realized that he was kind of committing on things that he shouldn't have been, and he cleaned it up. And now G2 starting to cover themselves, but NRG are so fast on plays like that.
What a shot from Garrett, but Rizzo able to save that in the nick of time. I think had Garrett gotten a better shot on that, that would have been in surely. But it was a difficult position. The ball came at him so fast. Great setup on the play for NRG, though.
Yeah, NRG just showing that they want to run some pass plays. They want to run as fast as possible, but G2 want to run more of a possession play.
Rizzo onto Chicago, puts it high. Gonna see another attempt here, but Rizzo takes a little too long to wrap around the ball, and Fireburner snatches it away from him, trying to go for the reset here, but ultimately conceding possession to JNaps, who back passes trade onto Rizzo. Pinch against the corner, push it forward. Fireburner's got it covered in the midfield. Rizzo off of the ceiling. No one really there from G2 to cover that one. Double demolition between Justin and Chicago there. Oh, and he puts it onto the crossbar. It bounces out and in. Down and in, excuse me.
Yeah, after the double demo here, JNaps realizing that he had a shot off the ceiling, gets the flip up. Justin, hard to read on that because Justin was already in the air trying to, defend his net. You know, that's kind of one of those things. Look, okay, it went in, still early goings. You know, Energy can kind of clean up their act just a touch, here and there, small adjustments. Just make sure it doesn't happen again.
Look at Garrett right there. He sets it up all by himself, but the demolition from Fireburner on Chicago. Probably should have gone for the shot there instead, definitely. Such a great setup, though. It was all by himself down the field as well. He had so much space to play with. Really a play that you expect to see converted, but as it stands, no change in the scoreline. Angled shot coming in from Fireburner. Bit of kerfuffle in the corner, and Justin comes out and sees the angle and goes for it. No one else wants the ball. Justin will just take it.
Well, that kind of worked out because Fireburner was just kind of in there hassling, like you mentioned, the kerfuffle in the corner happening there. And Justin just kind of lurking in the midfield, just trying to see what he can do, and then just striking. It's the Justin Snake, if you will.
So tied at 1 yet again, and a tied score is something that we are really getting used to seeing in this series overall. Fireburner, great setup. Chicago, even greater contest, intercepts that pass. Gets blown up now, but Justin going for the right flank, which is still covered. And Energy kind of resetting here a little bit, but taking too long for that. Chicago puts it on the post, though. That was an open net, should have scored that.
Well, Justin and Fireburner were sitting there at the posts, and I think I wonder if they were thinking that was going to be more of a bullet, and they just weren't even going to go for it. And then it wasn't. They got baffled. They were buffooned.
2 minutes on the clock. Push forward coming in from G2. JNABS is going to look to pass that one to Chicago, but quick interception from Garrett. G2 not done yet, though. Fireburner with a save. The long-range shot from Rizzo. And Justin versus Rizzo in goal. Rizzo able to save that one off to the corner. Here comes the counter-attack opportunity for G2. JNABS very quick in putting it forward. Rizzo putting in a lot of work here in this game. Gets it off the backboard, but Fireburner will intercept that pass. 80 seconds left off of the backboard. Covered by JNABS. Fireburner shadowing the ball here, blowing up JNABS. If he can't have the ball, he'll just have the car. Good cut from Garrett. And Justin still on the ball. Fireburner looking to contest that one. Gets it off of the defender. Good save from Rizzo. Final minute is on the board. Both teams pretty much tagging off for offense here.
Garrett flew for like 4 seconds. I mean, he visited outer space there for a second, honestly. That bump is actually pivotal because that could have set up for a massive shot on the NRG side. The G2 is playing some heads-up ball at this point and just not allowing anything near their net here for the last minute or so.
30 seconds remaining. Will we see a late goal or the third overtime of the series? Is there going to be any mistake in this crucial final few moments? Demolition onto Fireburner. That's not really going to do a lot as the ball is way too slow. Very well played off the backboard by Justin. Rizzo looking to get in there, but ball gets pinched off of him into the corner. Garrett trying to set something up for Justin here, but he can't put it on target. Just goes slightly short. And G2 trying to juggle it, trying to buzzer beater it. But Fireburner
Justin
clearing that one off.
Yeah, Justin was the one that knocked that play down. That's exactly what needed to happen because G2 were on a little bit of a roll. They had a ball control thought process in their heads immediately. And even as this one falls through, the NRG just completely backed off. They're not quite sure what to do now. Never mind. Never mind. I take everything I just said back. That was perfect. That was actually well done. I mean, Garrett G just kind of creeping in. He wasn't boosting. Nice quiet car. Chicago just finds himself in an awkward spot, couldn't shut down the shooting lane. I almost want to say Chicago sort of hesitated right there. Sometimes it's hard to tell if it was a hesitation or if it was just not anticipating the play. And I think the anticipation in that sort of sense just wasn't quite there. And I've noticed these guys, really all 6 of the guys, has been kind of creeping. They haven't been using full throttle. They kind of been feathering it, if you will, trying to stay as quiet as possible. And we might be seeing something emerging here where they're trying to be stealthy. Stealth has become something of a premium in this sort of situation.
Well, I mean, to be fair to Chicago, there wasn't really much that he could have done as soon as Justin had his hands on that ball, because he was covering the near post. No matter how fast the ball was going, he was always going to have his back to the ball when the shot went to far post, and that's exactly where it went. So it was just a really great, you've mentioned it, stealth play from Justin, just slowly creeping into the play. It wasn't really on anyone's radar, and then suddenly he's in front of the net and puts a slow roller almost into the net far post. Well done by NRG, and they are now on match point in Game 6. G2 with the opportunity to take it to the distance if they win this one. Ultimately, history tells a story that ends with a victory of NRG. And it's up to G2 to circumvent history, to write their own history, so to speak. But it has to start right now with a victory in Game 6.
How funny would it be if somebody was driving a DeLorean?
That would have been perfect, wouldn't it?
It really
Well,
would.
30 seconds in. And not much has happened yet. Pace is considerably slow. Rizzo to shovel that over into the midfield. And Justin with a slow ball. Chicago with all the time in the world to jump off of the goal and contest that in the air. Long clear past the midfield line, but nobody really following that up at the time being. And G2 covering the midfield and the wings.
Oh, here we go.
JNAP's ready as a passing station. There's the bump, but Justin gets the save. Chicago bouncing that one on the ground. JNAP's looking to try it through the side. It gets centered yet again all the way over into the corners. No one was in the air. Try and convert that to a shot. Pass on to JNAP's is going to try to make it come off of the backboard, but Garrett has got that one covered for the time being. On the side wall, and Rizzo might have a cut here, but doesn't quite get it. Gets it off the backboard, though, and Chicago opting for a pass to Rizzo, who is still recovering from picking up the boost in the corner. Bit of a miscoordination there on the attack from G2, but this is promising stuff that they're showing.
And G2 wasn't expecting that open net more than anything else, and Rizzo, like you said, trying to recover as Justin sets up for Fireburner. Fireburner right there looking for top shelf, not going to work. Garrett G keeps the pressure alive, but I think this one could result in a clear. Yes, it will.
The long clear it is. They get caught by Garrett G in his own final third as JNAP is taken out of the playoff screen. Chicago looking to center it here. Justin from the inside of the net. JNAP might have a chance here to set something up, but he is all out of boost. Still gets the second touch here. And again, slight miscoordination on the attack from G2. Rizzo has retreated, picked up fresh on boost, bounces it off of the corner, trying to pinch it against the ground. Can't quite make it happen, and Justin clears that off to the corner. We're at halftime, and no goals have been scored yet.
Yeah, it's definitely a little weird. I mean, we're seeing some chances here and there, but nobody wants to commit. Now, G2 have had a couple of chances there, and I should probably rephrase that. Nobody on NRG wants to commit at all. They've had a couple of chances here and there, but they kind of just let G2 clear it out as Rizzo shot. Oh, he just flipped past it.
Oh, looked like a fake for someone that wasn't there.
I'm calling whoops on that.
Pretty safe to say that was not a fake, but rather a miss. But it does not matter. Still no goal. Good touch from Chicago, but the ball gets taken away from him immediately by Fireburner. And we see Justin trying to run confusion on the goal line of G2. Not really getting through anyone. Justin pops it up, follows it up by himself, gets it off of the backboard yet again with a second touch, but this one's covered by JNAP's, and Energy again not committing to that setup.
They just won't do it at all. I mean, that should have been a shot. Instead, they're kind of waiting for these chances here where G2 are trying to make it clear. Like right now, that should have been perfect. Fireburner just couldn't get there in time. Nobody is playing close enough to make anything happen. They're kind of just relying on these long ball setups. I swear, it's like we're watching Season 3 all over again. Oh, that needed to be on target, though.
Yep, certainly did. Hit the post. Now JNAP's looking for the counter. Clean cut to the right in the midfield, but that one was covered by the goalie. Final minute is underway, and we're still scoreless in what could be the deciding game for Energy at this point. You'd really expect them to want to push this one through with all of their might. Oh. That is a dangerous touch from Fireburner, but Chicago doesn't really know what to do with that ball. Pops it up high, and it comes off of the crossbar. Final 30 seconds. Only 3 shots on the entirety of the Energy team. Now they're pushing forward. Can they convert a late winner? Garrett G off of the backboard, covered by Chicago. Rizzo misses his opportunity to gain extra distance. That will set up for another push from Energy in the final few seconds of the game. Comes off of the backboard. JNAP's trying to cover that. Justin early for the contest. It bounces off of the side. Garrett might have a shot here. Gets blocked by Chicago. They're going to have to clear this one, and they do, but Fireburner going to try for the angle again. Misses the ball and is going to touch the ground. Overtime number 4 in this series, and the 3rd in a row.
And we saw finally a little bit of commitments there from NRG. It just didn't quite work out that time around. I have a feeling we're going to be seeing it again. It's just going to be more of the same, but G2 can also turn up the wick. But maybe NRG are just waiting for that opportunity when G2 decide to commit to a play. NRG would just counterattack straight up. Of course, G2 probably doing the exact same thing.
We have a mess in the corner, 2 misses, and Fireburner is the one who walks away the lucky winner and with the ball, but loses to JNAP's in the opposing half of the field. Chicago looking to build up a fast play. Nobody really committing with him. Rizzo and JNAP's both waiting in the midfield line. Mid-air demolition from Chicago onto Justin. Garrett is there to cover his tracks, but man, that was a ground-to-air missile if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, I mean, it really was. And it actually just completely broke up the play, and NRG had nothing there. But, of course, nobody was flying at it from G2. So, I mean, it was a cool spectacle, you know, a display, if you will, of skill, but nothing really came of it. It seems to be the recurring theme in this.
Oh, that's a great setup. JNAP's trying to get the angle there. That was a very difficult position. It came dangerously close to scoring there, so just slightly unlucky on that conversion. Chicago using the ceiling to the pass. JNAP's versus Garrett. It's a 1v1, but Garrett coming out early for that one, preventing any shenanigans on that play. Nearing the 2-minute mark and overtime, we're still no closer to finding a victor for game number 6. And NRD again can just go through to the grand final with one more goal. Can they score it? Justin trying to set it off on the backboard. That gets covered by Rizzo. Back pass forced out from Garrett onto Fireburner. And he is finding himself under pressure from Rizzo and JNAPS. JNAPS waiting in the midfield. Rizzo, no doubt, looking to set a ball up for him, but he's completely out of boost. Chicago now trying to center that ball as well. Double commit from Garrett and Fireburner. Excuse me, Garrett and Justin. Second demolition in a row from Fireburner as Rizzo is taken out of the play as well, and that's going to reset things somewhat. So all players from G2 are forced back down. Post hit right there on that shot from Garrett. And he played it so patiently as well, waited for his flip until he was on the way down. Here's the counter opportunity for G2. The ball a little too fast. JNAPS can't get in between that before it lands on Garrett G on the backboard. Rizzo onto Chicago, puts it into the corner where Garrett is waiting. Fireburner yet again out for blood here. Third demo in quick succession.
And that's something we haven't really seen all series, actually. A whole ton of them. We see a couple here and there, but this particular game seems to have quite a bit of them. As Fireburner just wraps this one around a little bit too high. And now, G2. Let's see if they can mount any sort of charge here, but it's 3-on-1
versus Rizzo. Puts it onto the ground.
Here we go.
Try again. He has a downwards angle shot. Goes for the double tap, but it hits the ground. How unlucky can you get?
Should have went straight. Instead of aiming for the corner.
Chicago still has his flip here. But Justin playing it patiently. Off of the side wall. Here comes JNAPS. Running into a wall of 2 defenders. Chicago is going to try again. Centers the ball. Justin with a quick clearance. Now here's the counter opportunity. Chicago trying to go for the demo onto Fireburner. Doesn't quite get it. Will that be his undoing? Doesn't look like it. His NRG retreat on the attack, on the counter.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it really just kind of seems like this whole game they've been just looking for counterattacks more than anything else. They can play the counterattack just fine, but G2 are kind of anticipating it as well. They have someone either on the way back or sitting back ready to pounce at a moment's notice. The thing is that when NRG finally get on the offensive end, they really can't seem to put too much together, and most of that has to do with NRG or G2 covering quite well. Pretty much all the angles. This Garrett can't quite get there before Rizzo.
Well, almost haven't seen a goal scored for a full 10 minutes, 30 seconds away from essentially having played an extra game in overtime. Justin trying to set something up here, tries to kill the ball in front of the net. Very well played from JNAPS to defend that one. Kill the ball before anyone from NRG can get to it. Garrett trying to set up yet again. Justin looking to bump someone on the goal line, but retreated before the shot could have been made. And there we are. That's for Game 7. It was played in overtime of Game 6.
This is one of the strangest games I think we've seen here at Beyond for sure. I mean, they're playing so safe. It's like they're kind of just ping-ponging it around. Oh, that's a shot.
Demolition onto Garrett. The shot is going to be saved by the last man back. Rizzo off into the corner. Justin popped that up, and Rizzo to change the side. Fireburner really the only one from NRG who's putting any effort up front.
And Justin's had a few shots, and Garrett's also had a few shots, though. So
Fireburner, he has a chance here. Good save from Chicago. Justin will follow it up, though, and that's going to be an empty net. As all defense from G2 came out to save that one. And so, yet again, Energy stand victorious over G2, but it took them a 5-minute and 45-second overtime in Game 6 to close the lid on this series. What a tense final game that was. I don't think I've seen either of those teams play so cautiously in quite a while. I actually got some RLCS Season 1 final vibes from this.
Right?
Because back then, I was so surprised that after the Rocket League Central Pro League and all these preparation tournaments and also league play of RLCS where the stakes weren't quite as high, the players were their usual selves. They pushed forward, they took risks, but then in the finals, everyone just played so slowly and cautiously.
It really did feel that way, and it kind of felt like just the finals in general at most RLCSs, maybe even all the way up to Season 3, if you will. Nobody wanted to make a mistake. Nobody wanted to take a chance at all. Not even, we're kind of going back to this series, not even G2, who needed to take the chances. They were on the ropes. It was time for them to go for it. And they didn't. And then Energy's like, well, okay. Well, let's just hit it back and forth, I guess. And so they did. Well, you know what? That said, though, we should give credit where credit is due. There were quite a few shots on the Energy side. They were trying to make a goal. G2 had some decent defense going, but there were quite a few missed shots. And I did notice that Garrett was having a little bit of an issue with his accuracy. And I don't know if that was necessarily on purpose, because he did kind of want to aim towards the left side of the net. And every time it would bounce out. So I'm wondering if that was more designed to be a pass than anything else, because these guys aren't inaccurate. They're just not. So maybe that was planned. Maybe not. It's really hard to tell. All I know is Energy are going to face Cloud9.
They certainly are. And what a final that is going to be. We've got a barn burner coming up for you right after a short break. Energy versus Cloud9 in the grand final. The winner walks away with glory and the $1,500. Loser still takes home $500, but will lose all bragging rights. And of course, this being an RLCS preview show, essentially, with all the high-quality gameplay that we've seen tonight. And of course, 4 RLCS teams making it to the semifinals. I think we're going to have a heck of a match on our hands. So I want to see some predictions in chat. I want to see some lively discussion while we head into the break and get everything set up for the final showdown of the night, Energy versus Cloud9. We'll be right back. And welcome back, everybody, to the Astronauts Rocket League 3v3 tournament powered by Team Beyond and Astro Gaming. My name is The Patch. Joining me is Ninja Rider. We've had a stacked tournament already, and now it is time for, well, a stacked final, to say the least. Energy versus Cloud9, reigning world champion, versus a team that has come close so many times, but never really quite managed to make that final step. And if we took a look at the face-to-face between those two teams, it has been a story history. Most recently, they faced each other at DreamHack Leipzig in the quarterfinals, where Energy Esports was able to prevail 3-1. And what was a hotly contested match, but ultimately, all bets are off for this one.
And I remember last season, Garrett, before RLCS, had kind of come out and said, look, I'm so determined to take the world championship, whether it be this past year or this upcoming year. Well, now's the time. Why not prove that you guys are ready against the world champions tonight? You've already been through a decently grueling tournament. Why not? I say for Energy to let it all hang out. Don't hold back. Go no holds barred, full-blown fisticuffs. Do it all. And let's see what happens. Because, at least it'll give them something to look back on and reflect on, and maybe just analyze a little bit later when their heads are more clear. They're going up against the world champions. They're going up against what, in their minds, should be their main rivals. That said, Cloud9 have been able to watch them. I think Cloud9 has this.
Well, as I've said, if you take a look at the history between those two teams, it's been wildly back and forth. But Energy has been in a relatively good form in general recently, and they've brought home big results. They've made it almost all the way at DreamHack. They made it to second place at WSOE. They've been on a run. And going into this coming RLCS season, both these teams will be looking to make their mark. So I wouldn't rule out Energy just yet. I think we're going to see this go the full distance. I think Energy has the edge here. But it remains to be seen. We're going to start things off with a shot on target from Gimmick, who is once more represented by many stars in the in his in-game name. Don't know why that happens, but it is Gimmick. Both these teams are playing with their full rosters tonight. But yes, you are right. Cloud9 has had the chance to take a little bit of a breather. They had a clean sweep against Evil Geniuses. So they didn't have a grueling match, and they had a bit of a breather. Ready to watch Energy, but Energy are going to draw first blood here with a shot from Garrett G. Close range, long angle.
All right, so Squishy was way out of the play. Gimmick probably shouldn't have gone for that, and because he did, Torment needed to go back. So really, Gimmick and Torment interacting with each other in that particular way, and that time was not the time to do that. One of them needed to cycle back around and guard the net. The ball was getting a little bit too close, and just be there just in case his Gimmick tries to get a shot off.
I'm expecting a fast-paced, high-octane match here. And so far, those teams seem to deliver. Garrett G with a quick push forward, double commit from Gimmick and Torment. And Justin clears that off into the corner. Torment waiting on the wings, and an own goal being scored here. Oh boy, not something you expect.
Would it be an Energy series without a sick own goal? That's what I'm saying. Like, look, I love watching these two teams play together because random stuff like that'll happen. Garrett was simply on his way back, and he threw a whoops up in the chat. The whoops wasn't needed. That's something that just kind of happens sometimes. And especially with Cloud9, who can place the ball anywhere they want at any time.
Oh, here comes
tries to
Garrett.
make up for it.
Yeah, trying to make up for his mistake here. Not quite happening just yet. Well defended by Cloud9, who have already shown such great defensive play in their first semifinal series against Evil Geniuses. Here comes Fireburner trying to go for the double tap. Slightly short, hits the crossbar. Garrett wants to keep the play alive. Gets it against the backboard, but important touch there. And Squishy will pick up on that seamlessly. Gimmick's going to retreat here, awaiting the clear from Fireburner, which immediately comes out. Torment on the back wall. Fireburner getting bumped around here by Gimmick, is out of boost, going to have to retreat. Justin wants to keep the play alive in the final third, but the clear is going to come out from Torment. And Gimmick going to put extra distance on it using the side wall. Squishy, pass over to Torment. He puts it up high off of the backboard. Gets the demo onto Garrett, but the shot does not come. Kind of a tough angle to shoot from for Gimmick, but Cloud9 are hungry here. This shot's going to go on target, but I would have been surprised if nobody had saved that.
I mean, NRG holding their own on the defensive end for sure. They're not double committing. Oh, Garrett!
Oh, boy. It's the crossbar.
the
Firebird follow-up shot. It's the crossbar as well after making it come off Squishy. Solid defense hit again. Gimmick trying to go for the counter here, but yet again another crossbar hit. A miss in the midfield, but Firebird will pick up on it. Try to play it through to the side. Gets it past one. Completely out of boost now, though. Well, he has one left, but that's not going to move any mountains for sure. Halftime, and we are tied at one. Perfect pass.
Oh my
But
God.
Justin gets an even more perfect save, and Torment finally gets the dunk past Garrett. Wonderful pass and setup from Squishy.
Torment right here from midfield sees the play happen. Nice little pop up here. Both Garrett and Justin were right there, but Torment reading the play perfectly, just drawing on that one's experience that he has. I mean, it's not like Squishy levels, but let's face it, right there, he had to have the wherewithal to flip the car the way he did in order to make that goal happen. Expert level challenges right there.
And gets the lead onto the side of Cloud9 here. 2 minutes still left to play, though, in NRG. They've been playing a high pace all game long. Perfect pass, yet again another crossbar hit. How many of those have we seen in this series already, or in this game already?
At least 4.
At the very least, I would say.
Probably more.
Slight accuracy issues on both teams, or just bad luck, whatever it is. The crossbar. Defensive MVP on both sides right now. Fireburner not looking for the clear, or looking for a clear that he didn't quite get. Gimmick gets it off of the backboard, but Garrett is ready to sweep that outfield. Justin against the ceiling.
Good control.
Gimmick putting extra height on it. Garrett losing ball control in the blue final third. Squishy looking for the counter here. Gimmick wrapping around the ball, cutting it inwards, looking for the pass onto Squishy, but that one's a little high.
Oh, beautiful
Off of the
pass.
backboard, Fireburner looking for the angle there, but that is quickly intercepted.
Oh,
And here
bump,
comes Gimmick, just looking to bump onto Garrett, but Garrett beautifully evading all demo attempts and getting the save on top of that. Very good awareness from him.
It almost seems like both teams are trying to play as fast as possible, and this might be one of the reasons. Oh, never mind. Gimmick trying to get a dunk on Fireburner. I'm sorry, that is some tenacity. A dunking on Fireburner? What? Do you know who he is? Voice crack.
30 seconds remaining, still 1 goal behind. Energy Esports. Will they get a late equalizer here? Squishy pushing it forward. Fireburner's the only one back.
Oh, what?
And Squishy doesn't even go for the shot. He's just going to leisurely carry the ball all the way in.
Fireburner sets himself up here, realizes he was just a little bit too far forward, and he runs out of boost. He just flat out runs out. Couldn't make it happen. Oh, that was brutal. So that's why he was trying to float up. He was trying to get a little bit of pennies. And, you know, that's something that we haven't really seen too much of, really, in any series so far, is Torment from the sidewall manages to sneak one past.
I'm not sure there was a final touch there from an energy player. The angle, no. Oh yeah, actually, Fireburner.
Did it change?
But honestly, he there's not much that he could have done there. So
Well, actually, no. There really was. He could have blocked that one out. He just, it came in so fast. And on my screen, the trail didn't even change to orange before it went in the net. So I thought there was no touch.
well, whether there was a touch or not, the end result is a goal to Cloud9, and in the end, it is a 3-goal lead with which Cloud9 take game 1 here, unless we see another goal from Gimmick here. Well, no, Torment is going to get the credit for this. They certainly both went for it there. Torment just beating him out. Buzzer beater and a 4-goal lead to close the game out.
And I like the set there from Squishy. He just found himself there. So he's like, you know, I'll pop it up for you. And it's like a volleyball set almost. And it was well done. And Cloud9, once they got going, they just started to dominate. And NRG are going to have to change their tune for sure. I mean, the speed at which Cloud9 can just crank on almost immediately is astounding. And then they find their accuracy. They readjust and find all that accuracy again. NRG are going to have to be pinpoint accurate as well. And I think the short passes for NRG are really going to be what's it. Cloud9 are so good at reading where everyone is at all times. But if you can get those quick, short passes between each other and draw out Cloud9 from their net, and then have the third man be extremely important in those plays, I think it will work. I think. Question is, can you execute it? Well, we'll see.
Well, we'll see. There's still plenty of series left to go here. There was only game one, and while it was won convincingly by Cloud9, up until the point where Cloud9 really got off the ground and started running away with the game, which was fairly late, actually, Energy was putting up a good fight. So let's see how far they can go in this series. Cloud9 already swept one team tonight, but Energy are a tough opponent and have always been a tough opponent, especially for Cloud9 as well. Angled shot hitting the goalpost. Gimmick looking to clear that out, runs out of boost. Squishy with his back to the ball. Getting a contest through with Fireburner. Push forward. Garrett G's got that one covered on the back wall. But ultimately, Energy are going to give this ball up to Cloud9. Pass over to Torment. Fireburner covers that on the backboard. Gimmick up high in the midfield. And Cloud9 looking to push early. Get an advantage on the board as soon as they can.
And it
to ramp
looks
the
like
pressure up.
Energy are happy to let him do that. They're kind of turtled up. They're not committing to anything at all. This is almost like watching the last game between them and G2. I mean, it works for him.
Oh,
actually, you know what's going to work here?
No, he redeems himself.
No!
Such a good recovery, and Squishy is yet again the man to do it. I mean, I keep praising him for his defense, but I just cannot overstate how amazing he is.
Okay, you know, it kind of sounds like you're a bit of a fanboy, huh? Yeah.
I love myself some solid defense, and whenever there's solid defense, chances are the play you're watching right now is from Squishy. Oh! That's a bump, but that's not really capitalized on. Gimmick doing his work up front. And Cloud9 was already on the retreat for that one. Torment, perfect rebound off of the corner, comes off the backboard. Fireburner's got this one covered, and Squishy already on his way back. Scary G gets blown up by Gimmick. That'll ramp up the pressure for Cloud9. Good ball onto Torment, puts it slightly high. They're trying to rush it down midfield, but everyone just leaves the goal. And Squishy just wraps around the ball and has an open net.
All right, so Garrett right here trying to just send it away. Got the Wormburner going, but of course, Squishy right there reading the play. Justin thought he had time to go get some boost. And I think in normal situations, probably yes. But Garrett, unfortunately, ran it along the ground. If it would have popped up, it would have been a completely different story. I'm not saying there was a mistake there. I'm saying that Squishy was in the right place at the right time.
Well, as it stands, just shy of halftime, Cloud9 get their first goal on the board. Squishy looking to make it two, gets its flip back, uses it immediately to propel himself forward as he ran out of boost mid-aerial. Couldn't get a second touch on the ball. Fireburner versus Gimmick on the back wall. Runs out of boost. Squishy coming in with a long clear. Caught by Justin on the goal line. Squishy is going to continue his pressure. Gimmick coming in from behind now. Gets the rebound against the corner. Immediately converted into a shot by Torment. Nice and patient play by Justin. A little bit too patient. Gimmick coming in, almost snatching the ball off of him. And Squishy keeping the pressure alive from the right wing. Oh, so much pressure on Energy right now.
God.
Finally, they're break free.
That ball probably spent at least 30 seconds or so just in the penalty box on the orange side. That's got to be nerve-wracking for NRG.
Demo's coming in left and right. Squishy on the back wall. Can't quite clear the ball away. Gimmick is going to help him out with it. And Fireburner forced to retreat back to his own half of the field. Can't quite get a handle on the ball. Demolition from Gimmick got Justin with the ball. Is nowhere near the net for a quick conversion. Corman trying to make it happen, but the respawn has already happened. Time is running short, and Energy are continuing to find themselves under relentless pressure from Cloud9, but they've had some dangerous counter opportunities already. Here might be another one. Torment has got this one covered, and Gimmick on the goal line. Fireburner gets it on the back wall. There's the shot from Justin, and that'll find top shelf on the net.
Yeah, Garrett was correct in chasing this down. That forced Torment to also chase it down, and Gimmick had to try to defend from the other side. And I believe Squishy was demoed on the play. Either way, he was at that far post, and he stopped way inside the net. There was just no way that shot with that placement was going to get blocked out. And finally, NRG get one on the board. But they're going to have to defend hard because Cloud9 will turn up the wick from here on out.
Well, they already did well before the equalizer was even scored, so NRG, you're going to have to be looking to score another one as soon as they possibly can. Demolition onto both Garrett and Justin as they were taken out of the play, but ball is on the blue half, so they will have plenty of time to respawn here. But scores are tied. Might be on track to our first overtime here. If Garrett can make this happen, and he does! Jumps off the backboard, puts in a sharp angle downwards.
Kind of an odd touch there by Gimmick. I think he was looking for maybe a back pass. Squishy wasn't on the board. Torment realizing that Garrett was actually going to chase after that. And Garrett with the heads-up play. They take the lead after sitting 0-0 forever.
And now there's only 30 seconds left on the clock, and now the onus is on Cloud9.
Oh, Garrett's so cheeky. Garrett
on the goal line, trying to get a bump, but everyone's out of the goal already because the ball is already making its way out as well. Squishy gonna have to dribble out Garrett here, but he's facing some pressure from the right wing. Here comes Torment. Can he make it happen? Taps it once, but Fireburner gets in between it. 3 seconds remaining. All Cloud9 members on the orange half wide clear. They're gonna have to juggle this. Will they be able to? Ball is still in play. Squishy gets it off the side wall, but Fireburner with the interception bounces off of the ceiling, and that's going to be the win for NRG Esports, and they tie the series up right away.
All right, so NRG towards the beginning of the game was kind of turtled up. They weren't committing really. They weren't really going for anything risky. Worked out for a little while there. It seemed like Cloud9 tried a few things and got a touch flustered, maybe just a touch, and it was enough there for NRG to start pushing that ball towards the other side of the pitch. And once they began doing that, it forced Cloud9 to kind of rethink. They were moving so fast, and trying to defend at that particular speed is extremely tough, even for players of this caliber. NRG finally found their way through. They were tenacious. They got some ball control going. They seemed to have found the perfect formula for taking on that version of Cloud9. We both know Cloud9 is going to change the tone immediately, right as this game starts.
Well, I'm certainly curious to see how this change of tone will translate onto the pitch, but for Game 3, we are on Urban Central. Fireburner immediately getting the demo onto Gimmick. Flexing in the first 5 seconds of the game. Garrett, air dribble. Gimmick gets his hands on it, but can't divert the ball. 10 seconds in, and NRG take the lead.
I think Torment thought that Garrett was going to try to catch that ball a little bit, and even Gimmick was caught by surprise. I think Squishy might have called that one out, and Garrett just doing Garrett things. No big deal for him. Let's just going to move it towards the net. If it goes in, it goes in. If it doesn't, that's okay because the ball's on the offensive end anyways.
Squishy kills it right in front of the net, and Torment with a slow floater, tying the game up after another 10 seconds.
Yeah, Garrett kind of floating into the net right here, trying to read what Squishy was going to do. Now, Justin wasn't quite paying attention to where Torment or Gimmick was. He could have called that one out, and Fireburner at the last second thought he might be able to get a touch on it. But like you said, 20 seconds. Both teams have already scored one. This one definitely going to be a little bit different as the series is tied.
Torment with a quick interception. Fireburner on the goal line under pressure. Puts that one into the corner. Gimmick throwing himself into the fray. Clear out into the center. Justin has this ball taken away from him by Squishy, and he takes Garrett G off of the pitch here, trying to set a ball up for Torment, who's ready. But Justin covering, getting a good save.
Justin predicting that well, but still tons of pressure from Cloud9, and I kind of thought this might happen, but NRG are not turtling it up, though. They're not staying on the ground. They're actually going for some active defense this time. Oh, that was massive.
And that's a good clear. Finally gets all the pressure off of them. Get a ball off of the backboard as well. Here comes Justin looking for the angle. Puts it slightly wide. It bounces off of the post. And Gimmick trying to clear that ball the heck away from the blue half, but Cloud9 not really getting out just yet. Torment waiting on the goal line for a shot that is surely to follow. Good pass onto Garrett G, but Torment is off early. and intercepts the shot before it has any chance at coming out. Energy getting some quality offensive time here as well.
Oh!
Downwards angle shot off of off the backboard. Well done.
Okay, for those of you that are new to Rocket League, I know there's a lot of people who may not have seen a whole ton of Rocket League in the past little while. What Justin did there was extremely tough to do. He read that ball off the ceiling, then read the ball off of the backboard, and had to position his car in the air where you don't have as much maneuverability to try to make that work. Justin is sheer brilliance right now. He's got to be feeling good after that.
Oh yeah, who wouldn't? What a goal to get himself and his team back into the lead, but 3 minutes still left to be played, and this is looking to be a high scorer. Torment, Squishy is ready to pick up on it. Misses the opportunity. Gimmick trying to convert that into an angle shot, bounces off of the crossbar, and Torment trying to sneak one in. Fireburner on the goal line deflects that into the corner, but Torment winning out through, gets his flip from the wall to center the ball, but Justin continues to be tenacious on the goal line on the defense.
No. Energy are getting a little mixed up here on the defense.
Yeah, again, lots of pressure from Cloud9. Oh my goodness, goal post, but Gimmick's going to follow that one up at a second touch on it and tie up the game. 2:22 and 2 goals apiece. Perfect.
And I think Justin was expecting that one to go a little bit farther, maybe a little higher. He just didn't quite get the touch that he was looking for. And of course, Gimmick was already coming in to challenge, just moves it towards net, realizing that was already heading out. So he launches himself towards it for the follow-up. Nobody was there to help him out. And honestly, just a straight heads-up play there by Gimmick. Oh, nice layover. And Squishy will knock it away.
Certainly will, but Fireburner looking for the pass here, immediately intercepted by Gimmick, though, and he's going to get a lot of ground on this ball. Rolls up the corner ramp. Fireburner looking to get that past Torment, but can't quite make that happen. And here comes Squishy. Very important touch from Garrett off of the backboard. Fireburner will put extra distance on that ball, but can't really convert it into a good position for a shot. And here comes Squishy. A Gimmick taking out Garrett G on the goal line, but the shot does not immediately follow. We're still tied at deuces wild. Garrett making sure that Squishy can't wrap around this ball. 90 seconds left on the clock. And the game is as tense as it could be. Another demolition, this time in midfield, onto Squishy. Gimmick immediately using the flip reset that he got off of the ceiling. He was running low on boost for that play, but NRG are gonna look to apply some pressure here, which is something that you've mentioned over and over again. They haven't really been doing in the prior games.
They really haven't, but I mean...
Angle attempt off the backboard. Torment finds the near post, finds the gap.
Right, so Fireburner right here just gets a decent challenge, but he couldn't get any control on it. Squishy just comes flying in. Justin and Gimmick end up running into each other. Justin trying to find that gate, if you will, to cover that far post, I should say. And Gimmick, realizing that he's going to be there, just covers it as much as possible. They knock into each other, and it's enough to slow him down. Defense falls apart for NRG, and Cloud9 look poised to take the lead in the series.
Squishy going to make sure that this attack goes absolutely nowhere. Squishy carrying it in front of the net. Justin able to save that. Double demolition in the midfield. Both players have respawned. 30 seconds remain. Infield pass. Comes off of the backboard. Geralt will pick up on it, but Squishy getting the block. Torment in a good position to put the ball forward. Comes off of the backboard. Intercepted before Gimmick can get a shot off, but the pressure is all on the side of Cloud9 right now, and Energy is going to have to push away. Squishy with one fake, but Fireburner in a good position to come in from the side and sweep it. Here's the chance for Energy to push it forward, but Gimmick killing all of their chances at the midfield line in the air.
Oh, big miss.
Justin smashing into the wall there. They do get a little bit of distance on the ball, but this one's going to touch the ground. No chance for another offense. Cloud9 win game 3 and take the lead in the series back.
And again, some fairly even gameplay all the way through, and I think the difference really is that Cloud9, when they start to apply pressure, they're looking for the bumps. They're doing all of the normal Cloud9 things, and NRG, they were starting to kind of mix up their rotation as to placement on defense, but they kind of fell into the same sort of patterns again. And I think Cloud9 realized that that was happening and started to take advantage of it. We saw the bumps that resulted in that last goal with Justin, bumping into, I think it was Garrett at that point. So Cloud9, maybe not necessarily playing at the fastest that they would normally play at, but with NRG trying to slow things down so much, Cloud9 had to change things up, and they started going for those demos. It was a great way to do it. Usually we see NRG going for some demos as well. We saw a couple. That's about it.
Game 4. A hotly contested series. Both these teams trading wins back and forth in the series so far. So we are on track for Game 7 if things continue in this way. Torment gets a pass in field. Gimmick's going to have to follow that from the sidelines, but well controlled there from Justin. Transitions into a dribble, puts it on the side wall where Fireburner is waiting. Torment looking for the clear. Gimmick comes off of the side wall, looking to convert that into a shot, but Garrett just in the right spot to get the save on that one. Ball's up in the air. Justin stopping that Gimmick aerial. Torment to push it back forward. Gets the bounce off of the corner, but straight onto Justin. No one was in the midfield for Cloud9. Counter opportunity for NRG, but that one snuffed out as early as possible from a solid Cloud9 defense. Torment onto Gimmick. He centers the ball, trying to make it come off. Kill it on the goal line, but kills it right above two goalies from NRG. But look at all the work that Gimmick is doing right now, centering the ball over and over again, just waiting for the moment where someone is free in the midfield to make a shot.
It just kind of seems like NRG is just slightly out of sorts. They don't have the timing down on the offense. Once they get a chance, they're not quite sure who should go for the shot. And it seems like they're defensive oriented, which they kind of always are. But in this particular case, when they get a chance, they must capitalize. And they really haven't been able to do that at all this particular game, at least so far.
2 minutes without a goal have passed. Garrett looking to dribble that one, loses control of it though. Fireburn coming in from the side. Aerial contest between Justin and Gimmick is won by Gimmick, but Garrett able to recover in time and save the shot from Squishy. Justin to alleviate some pressure with a clear out of his own half. Another save as Gimmick goes for another shot. He is hungry. Keeps trying to set up shots. Keeps going for the demos, going for the bumps. Gimmick is really playing out of his heart right now.
Kind of seems like Cloud9 is letting Gimmick... Oh, shot! No, never mind. It kind of seems like Cloud9 is letting Gimmick dictate the pace of their play. And Squishy and Torment are kind of falling in line with that.
Oh, there's a shot. Oh, slightly misses.
Uh-oh.
Here comes the follow-up from Gimmick. Garrett a little early out for that one. Didn't get a touch on the ball, but Torment puts it wide as well. So much pressure from Cloud9. Squishy wants to set up yet another one, comes down in front of the net. Justin clears that away, but Torment will be looking to pass it over to Gimmick.
Oh,
he can't quite find the angle, and the clear finally coming out from NRG. That has got to be liberating.
And the experience of Fireburner coming in and clutch right there, realizing that someone was still there from Cloud9 as another shot comes out. Justin can't quite connect, but Fireburner was key in the defense of the orange net there on the NRG side, but now he might be key in this scoring opportunity.
Oh, such an important touch right there from Torment to get that ball in the corner, get the pressure away from the midfield, from the center.
Oh, this is tense.
It certainly is. Feels like we're just moments away from either of those teams scoring. And your guess is as good as mine is which it's going to be, and it's going to be NRG as Garrett gets a perfect double tap off.
And I think at this point, Garrett realizing that he had to just crank it up to 11. Squishy wasn't ready in the net. You had Gimmick all the way on the other side. Torment was just too close to the ball. And the speed at which both players launched at that, Garrett was able to just slam it in. So much speed. It's like explosive speed. NRG just full tank blast right into the lead. It's slim, but it's there.
Oh, Fireburner wants to make it 2. Gimmick blocking it on the goal line. Garrett once more. It's not going to get it, at least yet. Final minute is on the board, and that late goal is so important for NRG. They may be about to tie up the series yet again, but can't quite count out Cloud9 yet. Justin doing a good job at preventing the clear coming out from Squishy. Every second that is spent in the blue half right now is so valuable for NRG.
And we haven't really seen NRG make a big push at anything. Pretty much this whole series, they've kind of turtled up a little bit. They kind of just stayed on their side, and when they had a chance, they would go for it. But at this point, just trying to keep offensive pressure up is
Justin,
a little bit tough because they're just not mindful of it.
He had an opportunity to go for a long shot there. This is dangerous. Lots of pressure coming in from Cloud9 in the final few seconds. There's the goal line demolition. Justin is still there. Fireburner coming in from the side. Squishy missing his opportunity at a shot there. And Fireburner wants to get that ball the hell away from his own half. Here it is. Cloud9 going to have to buzzer beater this one. Will they be able to? Fireburner throwing himself into the play. The pass slightly overshot, but the ramp comes in to help.
My God.
He pops it back up. Justin going to have to clear this away, but he doesn't get his opportunity. Fireburner with the goal line save, but the ball is still up in the air. Fireburner blocks the ball and hits the ground, and NRG tie up the game. And the series, not the game. Unbelievable stuff. Cloud9 with their final push. But NRG, brilliant defense.
Look at the shot count. You had 8 shots from Cloud9, and NRG, just stellar defense. Were exactly where they needed to be the whole way through. NRG only had 3 shots, but they made them count. That's been the difference between this whole series, and even in the previous series against G2. NRG can take shots, but they weren't accurate. This time, every single player had a shot, and Garrett G, the one that was struggling with his accuracy, at least that's the way I saw it, landed his shot. It's exactly what needed to happen. Perfect team play all around. Excellently done on both sides. Cloud9 just couldn't quite put it together, and I don't know if you would agree with me on this, but Cloud9 is kind of known for some flashy plays. They like to go up for stuff and just make weird things happen, and I think that might have bit him a little bit this time around.
NRG crossing the goal line with only 1 goal ahead. They tie up the series. So once again, we are at least going to Game 6. And I've said it from the start, with the way these teams have been playing tonight in their respective semifinals, I would not be surprised if we see it go all the way. NRG not wasting any time this time around. 14 seconds in. Perfect setup from Fireburner and Justin with a finish.
Yep, right there. And Cloud9 just way up on the play. It's going to happen. Cloud9's going to have to just push that aside and be like, all right, cool. Very early in the game. No need to panic at this point.
Oh, an early goal this time around after Game 4. Had no goal scored until the very final minute. Gimmick off of the backboard. Fireburner blocking his advance. Justin plays out one, keeps the dribble going, cuts it wide, allowing Squishy to come out. Gimmick past the midfield line. Torment's going to try to follow that up. Goes up against Fireburner. He gets the ball earlier. And Gimmick wants to keep the play alive. Torment slightly overshooting that one. Would have been in a good position to set up a shot in the midfield. Gimmick can't keep that ball away from Fireburner, at least for the time being. Cloud9 still in the orange half. Looking to make something happen here. Torment. Attempted slow floater, slightly short. Comes off of the post.
And it was actually a brilliant save there by Justin, who was very patient on that play. He jumped a little bit later than I think he wanted to, but it worked out well for him. Got an okay clear, at least cleared it out enough to where his team can get back, and now they have a push.
They do, and Garrett trying to set something up off the backboard. It takes a little bit too long, though, and Gimmick comes in and takes the ball away from him, and now Squishy in the midfield. Ball goes up high. Torment wins the aerial contest, but Justin pushes it forward yet again, straight onto Gimmick, but Justin still not done. Centers the ball, tries to set something up for Garrett G. He puts it against the backboard again. Fireburner to send that up onto the ceiling. Backward shot coming in from Garrett, but Squishy on the goal line. Played it patiently and able to save that one in the nick of time.
And NRG making Cloud9 sweat. They are I mean, the relentless pressure here from NRG, we haven't really seen this too much in pretty much the whole series. They've been kind of passive and then just taking their chances when they can. But Cloud9 have been leaving some balls out there as well. And NRG, super smart players, they're going to go for it.
Nearing halftime, and it's only a 1-goal margin right now, and that could very well change with the way the series has been going. Justin off the backboard, a little far back. Garrett to keep that ball in the final third, but Gimmick's going to look to break through. Good pass on to Garrett, intercepted by another Cloud9 defender, though. Justin looking for the angle from the side wall. That one's going to be saved by Gimmick. Cloud9 have been struggling to break out of their own half all game long. They only got a single shot registered on the board for themselves. Energy really looking to ramp up the pressure here. And so far they've been successful at it. Good save from Squishy. Fireburner sends it forward. Squishy looking for the long clear and gets it as well. But Justin already waiting in the corner. Squishy throwing himself into the fray. Sends it over to the other side where Gimmick is waiting, gets it off the backboard, but Justin has got that one covered, drives up the ramp, and sends it back over to Blue. Cloud9 looking for solutions here to get past a strong NRG defense.
I'm looking, but NRG just seemed to have cranked it up. They got some decent boost control going on. They're not allowing Cloud9 to really get anything going. Cloud9 have not been able to land a pass at all.
Oh, that's a lovely touch from Garrett G. Pops the ball up, but Squishy on the goal, unable to save that one. Justin sets it up yet again. Fireburner coming in for a shot, but that's not really the shot that I was looking for. Garrett G centers the ball yet again, but with both his teammates already having taken shots and having to retreat to refuel, that ball just kind of dies mid-air. Final minute is on the board, and we're going to have to see some heavy pressure out of Cloud9. They've shown before that they can do it.
Yeah, but, I mean, NRG have been pretty much attacking just about anything, and realizing that Cloud9 want to play this passing game, so they're spacing out as Fireburner's up. Oh, he just missed. Oh.
And Justin did such a good job. He prevented the last defender from making his way to the net by cutting off his path, but the shot just did not come out in the way that it should have. It was a really good opportunity. They're going to get another one, though. The ball comes down in front of Justin with both defenders far away from the net.
All right, so Gimmick right here challenged by Fireburner, so he's out of the play. Squishy realizing he needs boost, so he was on the way back. And Torment was technically on the way back, but the way that the play kind of worked out, it put Torment in a very awkward position. And, you know, things are happening so quickly that Squishy just really didn't have time to turn around, I think. So, just, again, you know, I think this is one of those games where Cloud9 have kind of relaxed a little bit. They realize it's a best-of-7 series, so they kind of lost their mojo just a touch. This is a little bit of a reset game for them. And as time runs out, I think, you know, Fireburner's getting a little sassy here. And it's kind of just become keep away from Cloud9.
Which is a perfectly viable tactic when you're up by 2 and going to have to prevent a late goal from going in that could open up for a buzzer beater. But ultimately, 2-goal lead for NRG, and this is really the most comfortable that they have looked in this entire series. And yet again, over 5 minutes of play, 1 shot on Cloud9.
Yeah.
I don't know when the last time I saw something like this is. NRG esports were just constantly up in Cloud9's faces, and they made every single touch count.
They really did. I mean, NRG were kind of like the NRG of old. Anytime they went for a challenge, they pretty much won it. I mean, it's like suddenly Fireburner's Fireburner again. for those who may be a little bit newer to RL esports, Fireburner is known as the 50-50 god. At least he was back in the day. He could win anything, and it would come from like out of nowhere. The original NRG lineup was very scary simply for that reason. And it seems like Garrett and Justin have started taking notes from old school Fireburner, and Fireburner's learning from them at the same time. I mean,
Oh, early opportunity, another one. This one's getting blocked by Fireburner. Cloud9 looking to start the game off with a bang. So far, NRG is holding strong. Justin trying to carry that one all the way over, does it so as well. Going in early for those contests. Yet another 50-50 win for NRG. This one's going to be down centrally But a wide clear from Cloud9 to alleviate the pressure for the time being. And already 30 seconds in, they have tripled their amount of shots that they were able to put on the board in 5 minutes in the last game. But they better, because a loss in this game means the tournament is over for them.
Yeah, it does, and I think Cloud9 kind of realized that. They're going to have to put on the pressure, and putting on the pressure is what works against this particular team, in this particular lineup, if you will. And Cloud9 very good at doing that. They should have been doing it all along, but they just didn't. Now, Energy very patient on defense.
Oh, the save from Justin!
Like I said.
As Gimmick tried to find the gap, Justin shuts it close right in front of his eyes. Great defense from Energy, but Cloud9 still not done. Another goal line clear. Garrett looking for the counter here, and will find it as well. Cross-map goal, and the lead for Energy.
I like this snipe here. Justin just kind of throwing it away, just away from the net. And luckily, Garrett reading the play gets a fantastic touch. Both him and Fireburner were chasing that one down just in case. You never know when a Cloud9 player might come out of nowhere and dunk on you. One shot for Garrett G, one goal.
And very important touch from Fireburner there, as Gimmick was well on his way to try and convert that one. They come off the backboard. Squishy expected someone to contest that, but nobody came. Clear back out from Garrett, intercepted by Squishy. He's going to try to keep control of this ball. Gets it off of the back wall. Nice touch by Fireburner into open space. Sends it onto the side wall, over to Squishy. He sends it into the middle. Torment to pop it up into the air. Demo onto Fireburner, but really nowhere near the ball, so this is not going to have much effect. Justin getting his flip back, looking to use it to reserve the height that he had on his way down. As it stands, Energy are continuing to do a good job at shutting down the pressure from Cloud9. We're continuing to struggle to find a way forward and get really dangerous in front of the net.
Speaking of dangerous.
Dangerous indeed, but yet again, the Energy defense is quick on the buzzer, and it has been for the past few games.
Yeah, you know what, it really has, and they've been able to basically shut down Cloud9. I mean, 5 shots from Cloud9, nothing. Absolutely nothing to show for it yet. It's still 2 minutes left in this game, and you never know when Cloud9 can just pull one out of nowhere. But it seems like anytime Energy are going for a touch, they're going to move the ball away from wherever Cloud9 is. Doesn't necessarily mean they're looking for open pitch. They're just looking for the simple touch that's going to move the ball away and potentially set up for a play of their own.
Gimmick going to pop that one forward onto Garrett, who plays it high off of the ceiling. Pass onto Torment is intercepted and put into their own corner. Squishy taking out Justin from out of the net, but Fireburner gets an important touch. And then Garrett G will just flick it past the final defender. He makes it look so easy.
Garrett G looking for revenge. Flip. Torment's like, oh man. Now, Torment also didn't back off. He just wanted to cut off Garrett more than anything else. But there was no shadow defense either, which I thought was kind of strange. Maybe Torment had something else, thinking that Garrett would do something else. I don't know. But Garrett, great timing on the flick. Just manages to get it perfectly done. And that 2-goal lead is going to look real nice here as we move later on into the game. And Justin tries for a shot. It's not quite coming through this time. Cloud9 need to speed it up, though, Pash.
Oh, they certainly do. And Garrett will just get a hat trick here because Garrett wanted a hat trick. And if Garrett wants a hat trick, then Garrett will score a hat trick.
4 shots, 3 goals. Garrett is letting the numbers speak for themselves at this point. That is one determined player.
1 minute, 3 goals. That's a stiff task up ahead for Cloud9. And they need to make it count right now if they want to have any chance at taking this one to game number 7. But if they don't, it will mirror the most recent result between those two teams. The time is running short. And it is looking like Energy have this one in the bag, unless we see a miracle from Cloud9. Final 30 seconds are on the board, and if the Cloud9 don't score within the next 2 seconds, then I don't really see a way for them to come back from this one. And Justin wants a goal for himself as well, so he gets one, and this has got to be it.
I mean, it really does. Justin saw the opportunity, said, you know, I'm going to take the shot, and let's see what happens. And Gimmick just couldn't read what was going to happen there. Energy have been passing those lately as well. So with Justin going for something like that, it is slightly out of the ordinary based off of the last series or so. But, I mean, 4 goals here for NRG. Squishy never giving up. Man, this is a statement by NRG that they are here to play. They are not messing around at all.
It certainly is, and they certainly are not. They are the champions of this month's Astronauts $2,000 3v3 Grand Tournament. And they will walk away with $1,500 in prize money. But most importantly, a competition that was filled to the brim with great teams that had 4 RLCS teams make it to the semifinal. They come out on top of all those teams right before the start of the RLCS season. That is where the statement is.
Totally and completely. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Cloud9 have some reviews to do. There was some maybe pre-game decision-making that maybe needs to be reviewed. It seems like their approach, especially to this last game, was just not quite there. Now, I don't know if maybe they felt like they were defeated and just kind of got into that psychology of things. It's kind of hard to tell because it seemed like in the waning moments of Game 4 and all through Game 5, they were not the same team at all. I don't know if they were just trying something different just to see what would happen, but they were not nearly as fast. They were not nearly as aggressive on the offensive end. And then their defense just crumbled completely. Granted, Energy got some pretty good breakaway goals, let's face it. And, you know, maybe Cloud9 are not unbeatable.
Oh, no.
But come league play, you know that team is going to be transformed into a force to be reckoned with. That said, NRG needed to make that statement tonight. It's a huge statement. Garrett is determined, and now his teammates are just as determined to win the title this year, and that proves it.
What a statement to the NA RLCS world. We are here. We can win against the reigning world champions. We can make it all the way through a stacked bracket. Congratulations to Energy for pulling off a magnificent win and dethroning the reigning Astronauts 3v3 champions in the form of Cloud9. But for tonight, at least, this has been it. I really wish we had a couple more games to show because, man, this has been absolutely amazing. It is rare that we get such a caliber of teams in the Astronauts 3v3 tournament, but let's be honest here. It's the timing. We're right in front of the season, and all these RLCS teams are itching to get as much competition under their nails as possible. The result you have seen tonight, but obviously more tournaments are to come. More events will be thrown by Astronauts in April, and if you want to stay tuned and stay up to date, then follow us on Twitter at TeamBeyondNet. You can find the link below the stream. Also on our Twitter page, you can find the Beyond March giveaway. It's still live. 6 days left to sign up. If you feel like you need an Astra A40 Plus and Mix MTR, Astra A40 TR Mod Kit, Logitech G703 Lightspeed wireless gaming mouse, and a PowerPlay wireless charging system for it, and a Logitech Pro mechanical gaming keyboard in your life, and do not fret. You have the opportunity to win all of those things by signing up for our March giveaway. Head on over to our Twitter and check the pinned tweet to find all the information that you need to sign up. And yes, all of that will go to one lucky winner. We won't have a bunch of winners that get one each. No, all of that could be yours with a little bit of luck. And of course, if you want to sign up for our tournaments to come in April, click the tournaments button below the stream and stay up to date on all the information and news on the Astronauts Rocket League tournament circuit. All of the tournaments are free to sign up for, but as you have seen tonight, the competition is stiff. Still, I say it every week, and I will continue to say it this time as well. I cannot overstate how important it is to get experience playing against teams like this, because everyone can sign up. And you could be playing against the reigning world champions. Obviously, if you're not an RLCS, RLRS contender team either, then it might be a bit of a lopsided affair. But still, the experience that you can gain from playing against highly experienced players, professional players, is something that money just cannot buy. So go ahead and sign up. We have 3v3, 2v2, and 1v1 events coming. Do check our Twitter for the exact schedule. And apart from that, I think that is about it. I'm The Patch. You can find me on Twitter at It's The Patch. Casting alongside me, as always, has been Ninja Rider. It is always a pleasure, my friend. You can
Always
find him on Twitter at Ninja Rider RL. Any closing thoughts, Ninja?
Honestly, I've mentioned it before, and I think I need to say this again. NRG is going to be a force to reckon with this particular season coming up. Cloud9 definitely have their work cut out for them, and I really feel like after this past RLCS, that the NA teams have stepped up their game. Now, I think we saw that in NRG, but I think we now kind of have an idea as to what teams need to do to defeat the world champions. That includes the European teams, because you know the European squads are going to go back and watch those VODs. So I can't wait for next month. I have a feeling that some big things are coming. We've been making changes these last few weeks, and it seems like it's been well received. I want to thank the community for coming on out as well. It's been awesome to have you guys in this extended tournament. You might just convince the higher-ups here at Beyond to make even the 1v1 and the 2v2 64 teams. We'll see.
Who knows what the future holds? It's been absolutely amazing. Thank you, everyone, for signing up and filling up all 64 spots, and for putting up a quality tournament, both on the pitch to the players and in the chat for the viewers. It is always nice to see you engaged so well in the happenings. I had a lot of fun watching all of your predictions flow out as the games rolled on. I wish I could have kept a tally, but unfortunately, that is something that you will have to do for yourselves. Apart from that, thank you so much for watching. We hope to see you next month as well as our tournaments roll on. And until then, we'll see you on the pitch. Have a good night.